that's leading y'all into the mire. They a distraction. They're a distraction. That's it. Damn. They not telling you the truth. And that's what I wanted to say to him, because before we got derailed. No, you do the easy shit. You pander. Y'all panda bears. I say the uncomfortable shit that I know that the majority of people is gonna feel some type of way about it, but it don't matter because the truth is the truth. It's not my truth. It's not your truth. It's not how I feel. It's the truth. We are not a gay liberal people.
Thanks.
Stop following these white people, these liberal white people, these white men and white women that's out here protesting for Somalis. We don't even fuck with these niggas.
You don't never say nothing about white people.
For a group of people, and they using you as a poster child. That's how they.
I don't ever hear you say nothing about white people. No,
he did it then on purpose.
You never say nothing about white people, cuz.
And Ty, he did it on purpose, though. Don't do that. He did. We know that Anton. We know Anton, so we know he just added that there because he's just like that. He got that kind of mind. He added it like that. Shout out to Anton.
However, it still debunks Corey's point, because Corey said verbatim that the only reason you don't talk about white people is because you don't want some video out there of you doing it. He just did it.
Yeah, he did it intentionally. Shout out to him. He's a master. Can we just call it what it is? He's a master at what he does. He's very good at what he does. Like, nobody could take that away from Anton. Yeah. He's extremely good at what he does.
Yeah, I don't like that, because you do that to me sometimes. You be like,
what's that?
He a crafty.
Hold on, real quick, Freeze on. What you talking about, Angry Man?
Because you be like, see, because one time I was saying something, is like, you know what you be doing, Angry Man? You pick narratives and crafting stuff and all of that. And no, I'm just talking. I'm not diabolical. You be talking like
you don't think Anton. You don't think Anton is much. You don't think Anton is strategic like that.
He's strategic, but he's not diabolical.
Right, but he's strategic. But so meaning like, this is a way that he could point back to if anybody ever says it again. See, I talk about white men and white women too. It's an easy way to point back to that. It's smart. It makes sense. It's not diabolical.
But then again, at the same time, is it possible that same exact thing can be said about me? Because when I go to panels and I speak all over Illinois and in Florida, people say that same thing. Like, dude, don't ever hear you talk about white people. And thank God I got moderators on my channel and be like, Ty, here go the video from when you spoke about it in 2017, 2018, 2019. Here go all of them there. Here go a foul. Now, I didn't strategically and purposely make myself do that for that reason. It's just that I showed them that I'm equal opportunity to everybody. I'll flame anybody and everybody when it comes to talking about the truth, right? So then they made it to where they pulled up this foul to where I was saying it back in 2016, 17, 2020, whatever like that. But the thing is, if all I get you to focus on is when I talk about something dealing with black folks and that's all you want to go off of, you will never see the other stuff. But then when I pull it up, guess what a lot of us do? Well, it don't mean nothing. You still a sucker, hey nigga. Oh, see, now that I proved you wrong, now you got to find something else, though. What's the next excuse?
Because
absolutely.
That's why you should troll it, bro. Like, it's just
because it's selective hearing. There's culturally, nobody wants to really acknowledge this. There is a divide that's getting bigger and bigger, right? Because culturally, now that you have brothers on the internet that are voicing their opinions that are very conservative in nature, you now have a portion of the black community that doesn't like that, and they want to try to call it out every chance they get, as if your conservative viewpoints conflict with what I call the unspoken Negro contract, where you have to operate a certain way, think a certain way. This is why I had an issue with what Corey was doing, because he was exemplifying that in that conversation. It's like, okay, what you're saying, Anton, is some conservative stuff. We don't rock with that as black people. And what Anton's trying to say right now is that's not true. We've always been conservative. The problem is most black people don't even know the definition of conservative.
Yeah, he did a good job of defining conservatism. Welcome to the show, everybody, from my man MRM Ty's stream. Welcome. We're glad to see y'all. Glad that y'all are here. Salute to every one of you. This is the Real Spill with Mills. If you'd be so kind, if you would also give us a sub, we appreciate you. All right, let's go. Let's get to it.
Pass through this diversity, equity, inclusion bullshit and feminism, and they use black women as the poster child for it in order to get themselves through. White women are now considered a minority because they're a woman and they use black women for it. They hijacked the civil rights movement in order to push through feminism. They gave you Obama. He gave you a gay agenda. And then they said diversity, equity, and inclusion. Now they say brown and black. That's why I don't identify with that construct. But see, he not ready for this type of conversation. So he giggled like a schoolgirl because I was about to school that nigga. He changed the subject because he was out of his element. He was in deep water. The nigga was swimming in the ocean with sharks, and he was about to get destroyed.
Facts.
Now that's 100% true. Now that's 100% the truth. We called that yesterday though. We already called that from the beginning. Anybody want to add on to that?
I mean, that's just what that's what Corey's content is. Like Anton said, he talks about people. He talks about Pookie Ray Ray, boy girl, DMP conversation. That's the majority of his content. When you want to get to him on a political art, like he can't recall stuff from like way back when like Angry Man Can is like you can. He's completely out of his depth when it comes to those conversations.
Right. And I want to add to it real quick is that when I went over the video of this particular thing, and y'all, this might be me in the echo chamber if y'all heard this before too, is that one thing I keep with me, especially maybe right now, I got stuff that I can write stuff down on 24/7. Like I have it right here for me because whenever I engage in conversations with people like in real time, when I go to speaking engagements, the minute they try to cut me off and to divert me, I know that is very strategic because they know that you cooking them. So what they'll try to do, well, what about no. Okay. So when they do that, I clock out and I'll sit there and I'll right here. Don't divert away from talking about black people are not getting pulled over like you claim they did. So I let them go on and rat on. And when they get done, I'll just go, okay, anyway, like we were saying, I don't even engage it anymore because I know that once I do engage it, all of a sudden your brain will focus on that point that he's making. All of a sudden y'all forgot what y'all were even talking about. So I don't let them get away with that. And I know it's a lot of people, especially if you deal with folks like I speak in realms of a lot of politicians and even congressmen, and they're all trained to do that. And if you are very good at listening meticulously and you don't let them slide with that, ignore what they're saying, write it down before y'all get diverted. And when they get done, okay, so anyway, like we were saying, black people are not getting pulled over like you claim they did because Corey knew that he was losing. Anton was hitting with facts. He had nothing else to give back at that time.
Yeah, it's called, I call it branching. And usually you deal with that when you're in an argument with a woman, they do that. If you've got them in a corner logically where they know that they're about to lose the argument, they branch off into another topic to pull you away from the topic they know you're right about, and then they get you into a whole nother discussion about something else. That's what I call it branching.
Absolutely. And when all else fails, blame the white man. When all else, your back's up against the wall about black issues and you losing the debate. Yeah, but the white man did.
Dun, dun, dun. White man.
And Genesis said LMAO. Izzy Bands was crafty with his words and sentence structure. He is smart speaker. Thank you very kindly. I'm not quite as crafty as some of these other gentlemen. These gentlemen are way more. They've been doing it a lot longer, so they're better at it than me.
Izzy, you a low key Anton. Stop playing.
This is what Iz and Anton does too, and I love that they do it. They undersell. This is what Anton does when he says, "I'm a C student."
Yeah. See, y'all caught that too, huh? Y'all caught that.
That's his favorite line because then say get you in the mind. Okay, he's a C student. I could probably and then bam, he hits you with it. He hit you over the head with the
what he did was he actually tried to get him to break it down for the people that don't understand. And he didn't.
No.
What he did?
No, listen. Hold on, real quick. He was trying to get him to play his hand and play his cards. Really, that's why he played dumb, so he could play his cards, so he could debunk everything that he was saying. That's really what he was doing. But
but I'm just saying on that surface level, like for all the C students out there that didn't do so well and that don't have such good understanding, break it down so they can learn.
Well,
you know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. Anton calling himself a C student. Yeah, he had to bring himself down to a C student level in order to try to get Corey to understand. But still, Corey was not getting it, even at a C student level.
Thank you, Emmy. Thank you.
Yeah, and but he wasn't. But we gotta be honest. Anton was kind of hitting him. Anton, it was unfair. He was unmatched. It's really what it was. Shout out to TMKC. Thank you so much, sis. With the $5, she said, enjoying the show, support the show. Exactly. Thank you so much, TMKC. I appreciate you. I appreciate you.
Hey,
And,
can I ask y'all a question?
go ahead, Friezon.
Because y'all would probably know more than me because I've only seen like 1 or 2 Anton debates. It is very clear that he was punching down, right? Because Corey a dumb nigga when it comes to stuff like this. Who would be Anton's? I said that. Who would be Anton's equivalent? His equal?
What do you mean by equal?
If he were to get into a debate, who would be his equal?
From the other side? From the other
Yeah.
side?
Yeah, correct.
I think him and Tommy would be a good.
Who is
I
Tommy?
like to see that. Tommy Sotomayor. I like.
They
To
agree. They agree on a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
They're from the same side.
I know, but the problem is, the ideological part about it, the philosophical breakdown of it is gonna be the nuance, and that's gonna be where the fun is gonna be at. You know what I'm saying? They do agree with a lot of things.
But the problem is the only conflict is going to be personality. It's not going to be the points or the talking or the subject matter, right?
Do y'all think Tariq Nasheed? Shout out to Bill and Co. Appreciate you, Bill and Co. for $10. Tariq Nasheed?
Nah, I would go with Willie D.
Nah, Willie D ain't ready.
I would go with Willie D.
You think Willie D is ready for Anton?
He's not.
He's not.
Well, I could see Tariq and Anton.
Tariq spoke on this too.
What happened?
He spoke on it.
On the situation?
I didn't hear everything he said, but he spoke on it. He was live last night on TikTok, and I just happened to click on it, and he was like, "Yeah, with Anton and Corey, da 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 da," and I swiped off of it. So I didn't hear everything he said, but he was
narratives. Saint and the Sinner.
Nah, that would be bad.
When we're gauging this, right? Are we talking somebody that's from the liberal perspective?
Yeah,
that's what we talking
about. Yeah, or just not fully conservative like that. Like they may agree on some things, but mostly just on the opposite, not like extreme opposite, but just.
The problem is here's the problem. You cannot find anytime you have a person on the right that is knowledgeable, articulate, and can handle themselves in a debate, you're not going to find an equivalent on the left because the left deals in too many logical fallacies.
Right, they're lunacy. Yeah.
So you can't find an equivalent because a lot of the stuff they say is narratives. It's not factual. It's something that it's a narrative they're trying to push, and if you're knowledgeable enough, you're going to debunk everything that they're saying. That's the only issue.
That's why I was like Willie D, because it's not even like, you're absolutely right. That's exactly what I was thinking. It was like anybody that's on the liberal, they don't actually stand on any point that they make. Anything that they put forward is more about feelings than it is about facts when it comes to liberalism.
Yeah.
I think one of the things too is that like I got books of Thomas Sowell. And the fact that Thomas Sowell was once like a Marxist and once was dealing with that type of ideology, when someone like him who's been in the game for a long time as well as in his 90s and is still very, 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 very intelligent, when he turns around and say what ended up getting him, because he was far more. I mean, the dude is very smart. And if he says something like what ended up getting him is that people hit him with facts. See, but the thing is, the people that you might be debating with, they have to be in a mindset of, for example, not going into it saying, I'm about to get in here and see how I can cook this dude. In fact, I'm going to just let y'all know something. I was getting ready to jump on board and actually start touring with Turning Point USA. When they came up to Central Illinois and I got up there and I got to meet Charlie Kirk and all this, and we've spoken on the same stage a few times, but I was really getting ready to go on tour with them. But the only difference is that when I sat down and I talked with him, I say my thing and what I'm doing around within Illinois, Tennessee, Florida, and Missouri is that I get what the videos show. You mic dropping people. But my whole purpose of doing what I do is to actually try to win them over with facts and stats, not to hit them with facts and stats to where I end up making them look stupid and all of a sudden they become a viral thing showing that I cooked them. That's not my intention, because to me, you don't win people that way.
Yeah,
Those people become the laughing stock of like, oh man, Charlie cooked you or Ty cooked you when he said this. Oh, dude, you're going viral for Ty. No, I'm trying to actually get that person won over, because if you do that and this person gets shown facts, then maybe they can go and take it back to their. I think about it like viruses. You know, they can take it back and infiltrate their community with truth. So if Thomas Sowell say what ended up getting me from getting off that Marxist ideology and that slave mentality and the victim mentality is that I got hit with facts and I went to study those facts. Once you get those facts, you get that truth, you can help but to go back and tell people, hey, yeah, I was wrong. When I got showed, I looked at it, I was wrong. But most people that you debate, if they're not in that mindset, it's a lost cause. So once I sense that while I'm talking to someone, we're done. Like if we're not trying to come to the conclusion of the truth, I'm like, there's no point of us even talking anymore. I'm done. Okay, I'm done.
I just thought it too. On a neutral platform, I'm thinking Roland Martin, and I'm thinking Mark Lamont Hill.
Nope.
No, definitely not.
Mark Lamont.
Yes.
The dude who think women, the dude who think men can get pregnant and have periods.
Mark
Yes.
Lamont Hill.
Yes. I want to see it, bro. I want to see. I don't want to see. I don't want to see Anton punching down on goofy niggas like Corey, thinking he's smart. I want to see something.
Mark Lamont Hill is ducking Anton.
That's what I heard about that. I want to see it, bro. I want to see it.
Look. It's not gonna happen, and I'm gonna tell you why it's not gonna happen. Is certain people look. What you saw with Corey Holcomb and Anton is the reason why people in Corey's position, I call them people from legacy entertainment. It's anybody that used to be a rapper, anybody that used to be any of that's part of that Hollywood thing. They avoid guys like us in these spaces for a reason. Because they cannot do it. Like, bro, the way being a content creator on YouTube shapes and molds you, especially when you go to panels on a regular basis debating people. It's like being Conan the Barbarian getting ready to go battle a gardener.
Yeah. I get roasted on all the time.
Honestly, you know, I'm sorry. You know, it's really like, and I'm sorry to bring this up, but it's really like a seasoned battle rapper going against a regular rapper in a battle rapper setting. That's really what it's like.
He challenged him.
They don't have a chance. They don't really, most regular studio rappers don't have a chance against battle rappers.
They don't have, like, for instance, there's a conversation going on right now, right? Because Kais and I stopped streaming, right?
Yeah.
And there's this one guy that has a theory. He said he think it's because of Kevin Hart. He think Kevin Hart influenced him to stop because he thinks Kevin is threatened by it, because he went to see him streaming and he was like amazed at how they were able to do that production with just $1,000 worth of equipment. But when it comes to him and his production, he got to have millions of dollars just to do certain stuff. See, the legacy entertainment, they feel threatened by us because they can't do this. You feel me? The average, there's an illusion that Hollywood created. A lot of the people that we look at, they look good because they got all of this production behind them, all of this. In fact, the first time I realized this, right, is when I saw a actor. I'm not going to say which actor because I don't want to just dump on somebody, but I saw an actor on a Tubi movie that's a good actor. And I'm looking at it like, why is their acting skills so crappy in this movie? And it's because when they're in a Hollywood production, they're demanding the best out of them. They're so Hollywood makes them look better than what they are. And that's why when you see a lot of people come here and they try to be podcasters, you don't want to listen to them talk for an hour.
Right. But now this is the thing though, but there's a weird thing going on with Haas. I didn't want to get into it, but I do want to get into it. You seen that? What's going on with Hassan Campbell and that whole thing and Fat Joe and all of that? You seen that?
No, I wasn't paying attention to it.
So basically what's going on is, y'all, it's mute, whoever that is, mute, please. Basically what's going on is they trying to bring, if you notice, like Fat Joe and Jada got a podcast, shout out to them. You know what I'm saying? There's legend of Tony Ayo and Murder Uncle Murder getting a podcast. You know about the Jim Jones and Mano and them and Fab and Davies having a podcast. Then there's of course Cameron and Mace, because of the success of Cameron and Mace. Then Joe Budden, whatever. So what's happening is a lot of those guys are trying to come into this arena. And that was the one place where I can't really fault DJ Academics for, because when you got those guys trying to come in this arena and then try to push guys that's been here around or try to set marks or standards for guys who's been doing this, who've been setting the mark and standard, like I could see why they would give such pushback and why they're not really going for it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and so,
but it's a candle sometimes flickers violently right before it goes out. This is the legacy media's last hurrah. This is them trying to fight for, there's a new wave of entertainment, a new wave of media, and this is them trying to find their place in it, because the old thing they was doing doesn't work anymore. And what's going to happen is some of them will shine. You will have your Camerons and your Maces. You will have your Joe Buttons, but a lot of them gonna fall by the wayside. Lil Wayne had a podcast. Nicki Minaj had a podcast. Yes.
Facts. Yeah, Queen Radio and Young Money Radio. Yeah.
They're not gonna be able to do it. So it's all I can say is game on. You feel me?
As a matter of fact, to your point, Angry Man, I knew YouTube was going to be a big deal when all of legacy media started coming here.
Yep.
That's what the adpocalypse was about back in the day. A lot of y'all probably don't know what the adpocalypse was, but the fact that if you don't have YouTube Premium and you get 15 ads on this video right now that you're watching, that's because of the adpocalypse. When CNN, MSNBC, and all the other corporations, they used to downplay the internet. Oh, the internet's a fad. YouTube, it's not going to be around long. Da, da, da. And then slowly but surely, they had to come.
They had to bow down.
That's the same thing that happened with, that's the same thing that happened with rap music as a whole, though. We got to be honest. That's the same exact thing that happened. But then what happens is when this corporations start getting behind YouTubers and stuff like that, that's when the game changes, when we quote unquote sell out and start taking these dollars, and then our message has to change and our methods have to change. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Now there's an algorithm.
Hey, I just want to say what y'all are talking about adds to why I picked those names, and I want to see it, because we'll clearly see what's up when we see that.
Well, look, I'm waiting on my check. Because I'm like Martin when old buddy was going, when they was going to the skybox. He said, I've been giving my friendship away for free for far too long. I'm waiting on my check, broski. Real talk.
No, I think those names that you mentioned, I got called out on a Breakfast Club by Steve Harvey, DL Hughley, Taraji P. Henson, and our media company here reached out to them to have me come on their show, and Mark Lamont.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. You know what they do? Their producers will go and look at your channel, and they will see where you were about, and they'll probably, we don't want that, because they know I will embarrass you.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what they know.
Charlemagne has been embarrassed enough.
Hold on real quick. What did they call you out for, though, MRM?
Well, I went viral, like 80-some million views some years ago. I'm the one to snowball parents speaking out at these school board meetings in regards to CRT and all that.
Yeah.
Like, I got put on the domestic terror list and everything. I got the videos I can show y'all when I was going to do a TED talk and got put on a domestic terrorist list and a no-fly list by the Department of the Justice, Merrick Garland.
Dang.
That's crazy.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So when you get put under a microscope like that, it becomes a whole different ballgame, because the thing is, I represent something that they just was not wanting to see come out. I wasn't trying to brag on them like that. I just got pissed off because my son at the time was a senior, and I was being told in the community that they're going to be teaching about critical race theory in the schools. So I was like, wait a minute, where? They was like, yeah, at your son's school. So they didn't even let us know that there was a school board meeting that was even going on, especially black parents. So I come to this school board meeting, right? Getting off of work, took a shower after hitting the gym, go to there, and next thing you know, these people are up talking about critical race theory and how we have to help the black people. It's our fault while they're there. You know, it's because of our inherent racism that the black people are so down. We have to reach out. Dude, I'm looking around. The only black person that was in there talking about black issues, there was not one black person but me. Wow. I was the only black person in there.
See, I'm glad you're saying
one of my
this.
points. Yeah,
I remember seeing that.
I'm glad you're saying this because people think I be capping when I say stuff like, they think I'm BSing when I say stuff like, yo, they don't want me on these bigger platforms. They think I be lying. It's the truth. When they see me talking the way I'm talking, they be like, nah, we don't want that. You know what they do to me, Ty? This is what they do to me. They talk trash to me in the comment section of my Instagram videos. That's what they do. Like, I got so many celebrities that's in my Instagram comment section going at me crazy. Black Hollywood can't stand me, bro. They cannot stand me, fam. Like, it's so many people that I used to like that as entertainers that just was in there going crazy. And I'm like, wow, I actually rocked with y'all. Like,
right.
That's up, bro.
Yeah, you can't go into the spaces of someone like the likes of Steve Harvey or D.L. Hughley them and go there and completely destroy them because it's going to make them look bad. And what happens is there's a psychological thing that goes on in a lot of people's brain that because you got people like these celebrities, and I mean, a lot of us, you naturally do it where you see people that are celebrities and you see them on TV, you see them in movies. So for some odd reason, your brain does this thing to you where it makes you feel like they know all and they're very intelligent, they're very smart because they are really good at being a great actor or being a great rapper. So your brain automatically assumes, well, with all that money, with all those surroundings, I'm pretty sure they got the best teachers, the best doctors, the best health and all this. Your brain just instantly make you think that. And
can I ask you a question about this with the actor thing? Because isn't everybody an actor? Because when you meet somebody, you're meeting their representative, not their real self, technically. Or am I tripping?
No, there's a whole difference with Hollywood. With Hollywood, look, and social media has exposed it. You feel me? With Hollywood, you got all of these people. You looked at, see, back in the day before this, I don't know how old you are, but back in the day before all of this, we didn't get to see the real person. We just saw the facade of who they were. Because back then, celebrities, you didn't know their political views. You didn't know what you didn't know any of that, right? So because of social media, they can come on and show you the real person. And so now you get to see what they really about. And it's crazy. It's really crushing for guys like me that came up in the 90s, because there's a lot of people that I rocked with that I thought was cool people. And now I see them on social media and I'm like, yo, you're a lunatic.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying you meet their representative when you first meet somebody. I think everybody has that front, but that's what we learn from Hollywood because that's what we see on TV, right? Or am I tripping?
It's not meeting their representative. They create false personas, to sell.
And that's
you.
That's what I mean. The representative.
It's like, no, it's not even because a representative would be a representation of who they are. It's not even a representative. That's what I'm saying. It's an alternate persona that they created. Perfect example.
Yes.
Cardi B, right? The fact that her and Meg Thee Stallion made WAP, but she wants to hide her daughter from the song in the Instagram video. They're willing to sell you. It's just like hustling drugs back in the day. What's the third crack commandment from Biggie's song? Never get high on your own supply. They want to sell you that which they themselves don't partake in.
Yeah. Because when you're talking about regular people, and you say the person showing you their representative, that's just a person trying to give you the best version of themselves, right? They're just trying to hide the flaws and the things that would turn you off to them. With the actors, just like Omni is saying, they're creating a completely different person. This is the reason why Michael B. Jordan said that after he did the Black Panther movie, he said he had to go to therapy. Because what they do is they immerse themselves in that character. Good people do that. But back in the day, even to this day, there's certain people that you could look at, like for instance, Denzel hasn't completely let me down, because every time somebody asks Denzel his political viewpoints, he tell them that's none of your business. You know what I'm saying? He keeps it funky as far as that. Now he's done a couple of things that I think is a little questionable, but for the most part, Denzel is Denzel. You feel what I'm saying? Whereas you look at some other people and who they are on screen is completely different. Like for instance, Vin Diesel. Vin Diesel is not Toretto in no way, shape, or form, right? Amari Hardwick, in my opinion, in real life is corny. He's not Ghost. He's not, the characters he portrays. He's not that. You feel what I'm saying? And a lot of them, they have this sort of liberal, far left leaning ideology because they can't exist in Hollywood if they don't.
Right.
They can't exist out there if they don't. You look at people like Mark Ruffalo and all of these dudes. Matter of fact, Dean Cain, right, used to play Superman. He's been on there's a podcast that he's on. He be on the panels and stuff, and he's a really conservative guy. And he's been giving his opinions about conservatism. They on social media now, they won't even acknowledge him as Superman anymore. They be like he was never really Superman. Like, this is how much they hate anybody that, from Hollywood's perspective, this is how much they hate anybody that goes against what they got going on.
Yeah.
But you know what's interesting? The crazy thing is this: a lot of times it's like they almost have to create that alter ego or that alter persona, because think about how competitive and how only the strong survive Hollywood is. In order to get a part, you're going against the best of the best. Like, to get certain parts or to get certain jobs or to get certain work, you're going against the best of the best in the field to get this one acting job. So it's like you almost got to inundate yourself from the rejection or from the letdown to go to your next part or to your next position. Uncle Jeff, are you here? I'm interested in what you have to say about this.
It's true. It's true, but I'll add something to it. Patrice O'Neal gave the best explanation of it. He said Hollywood is like a beast, and everybody is standing in line waiting to be devoured by it. And once they get devoured and shit it out, they get back in line to get devoured and shit it out again. He said that's what Hollywood is. He said the only person that was able to not have that happen to him was Charlie Sheen. He said Charlie Sheen gave the beast indigestion. He said, but everybody else, he said, but everybody else, they get shitted out, they get back in line to get devoured again.
That's man, we only got one Patrice O'Neal. That's the crime.
Rest in peace.
That's the crime, dude.
Yeah. And that's the thing I was gonna say, but I didn't want to go there because I felt like it would be really insulting. But
Corey Holcomb was close.
Corey Holcomb thinks he's who Patrice really is.
Because it's close. It's close though. He's not quite as cerebral as Patrice was, but it's close.
That's close. It's close. But see, that's what Uncle Jeff was talking about when he said Corey has truth. It's just in the wrong hands. With Patrice was way more intellectual.
Right.
You feel me? Way more intellectual. Right. So that's the difference in my opinion.
Patrice was a deeper dude. Shout out to Taste the Karma. A dope discussion, deserve dope donations. Hit the Cash App, support the show. Thank y'all so much. Let's get back to this. This is definitely dope conversation. Let's see.
That's why comedians pivot, because they do not want to have a conversation with niggas that's smarter than them. Because instead of you saying, let me learn something, because I was about to learn a nigga. Let me learn something. Let me learn you, nigga. I started quoting Emancipation Proclamation, talking about Abraham Lincoln and how he was Republican and the freedom of black people. 14th Amendment. I'm about to dig into this nigga. Like, oh, okay, well, we really about to get into some shit. You really want to talk now, huh? You really want to talk about the history of our party, the transatlantic slave trade, the truth about slavery, all of this shit. He don't want to dig into that shit. Y'all don't want to hear that shit. Y'all want to be pandered to. You want to tether yourself to the federal government so they can tell you what the fuck to do. We got all black cities, majority black cities, Memphis, Detroit. All of these cities is our cities. ran by us, the police chief, the superintendents, the people that run the public schools, the mayors, everything. And we got a less than 20% voter turnout rate. We letting everybody else tell us what to do in our own cities. Fuck the national election, nigga. You can control what happened right under your feet. Paying property taxes, letting Chicago rip y'all off and push y'all off y'all property. That's why they call it Crook County. Nigga, they got Brandon Johnson in there posturing for y'all, making y'all feel like you're doing something because you want a nigga that look like you instead of a nigga that's going to give you an opportunity to run up a bag so you can change the trajectory of your children's future.
Can you pause real quick, Easy?
Family, fucking up your money, tethering you with all of these.
Yeah, he going in.
Damn.
Hey,
Anton
literally right now,
Damn.
Brandon Johnson puts out a thing with a group of his folks up in on Facebook, to not have Ty Smith, aka Modern Renaissance Man. Don't invite him to come in to speak to New York. Don't invite him to none of the after-school programs. Don't invite him to the Boys and Girls Club. He has a Facebook thing with folks telling them that if this guy's supposed to come up there and speak, don't let him come because he is a danger to blackness, is what Brandon Johnson has up. But I've been doing it for years, though. Nobody's stopping me from going up there. They still invite me to come. But this is Brandon Johnson that has this out.
Specifically you on, like, he's specifically
me and a couple other folks, but it's definitely me.
Wow.
But I got a ton of family up here, so I mean,
yeah, you from there. Hey, Walt, you Willie, waving the back, so I know you.
And I just showed in real time last night when I was reviewing this conversation that they were having. And Corey Holcomb brought up the fact, nah, man, because voting is some sucker shit. You paying all this money for a house and the fire hydrant in front of you don't work. And I'm like, bro, you talking about Democrats. You talking about Democrat-ran cities. And then I literally pulled up the clip of everybody in Chicago right now that live in those black neighborhoods complaining about how their property taxes went up 100%.
Chicago flips red. Yeah.
I said, this is a Democrat-run city. You and even the clip, you got a black man up there. He's talking about it, complaining about how much he got to pay in property taxes. And the first thing that comes out of his mouth, but Trump is getting a tax cut. Trump ain't got nothing to do with what's going on in Cook County. Y'all are running that.
Man,
bro, it's bro.
This keeps bringing me to the point of the hatred for Trump. They're trying to make us hate Trump so bad.
Word. This is why I asked the young boy, what was his name? Ghetto Stoic. Yeah, yesterday that was rocking with Izzy yesterday. I asked him what standard or what value do you hold that ain't got nothing to do with white people? They ain't got nothing to do with what you gonna do on a day in, day out basis. What foundation are you laying for yourself? They ain't got nothing to do with white people. Because I'm tired of every time that we're talking about black issues, every time that we're actually digging through the minutia of what the plight is and things that we can take actionable steps to be better and do better. Somebody somewhere in the conversation got to inject a white person in it.
Yeah.
Or what white people are doing in it.
And look, I went off about this the other day and I was cooking with fresh grease. I said, because somebody came into my chat room with some rhetoric about the small hats, right? And I said, look, y'all got to understand, the small hats are where they're at because of the way they operate in their daily life. And I showed them a clip of a guy talking about finances and how they prioritize their finances. The first two things he said is, number one, we can't live anywhere. They're going to make sure that they live in a community that is their community, that is their culture, where everybody is aligned on what they're trying to do, right? Number two, he said, we have to put money aside for schooling because we cannot send our kids to to public school, right? And I told everybody, I said, yo, if you wanted to fix the black community, you could do it overnight by simply doing one thing. You don't have to say, oh, well, we can't live anywhere. We already have black cities. We already have, just like Anton said. I said, the problem is nobody is complaining enough about the schooling. That's the biggest thing. Everybody in here knows that everything that a child really takes in to become who they are, to develop their personality, happens before they turn 7 years old. Fair. So I said, if you took and you had a school, if you had school systems that were charter schools or whatever, that were schools that taught black culture, real black culture, you know what I'm saying? Real black culture, real culture as it pertains to black people in America, you know, all of the regular stuff, but made sure that one, those kids wore uniforms to get rid of that goofy stuff when it comes to kids picking with each other about their clothes. In addition to that, you're teaching them stuff that they don't learn at the at public schools, and making sure that the classrooms are not overflowing. Less students in the classroom. You feel what I'm saying? The three things I said was this: uniforms, less students in each classroom, and more male teachers. I said you could literally change a lot with just that. But nobody, when we see all of these black people, you know, complaining and talking about the problems, they never address the schooling. If you go to any black community where you see black people behaving badly, all you got to do is go look at that school system.
Go ahead, Uncle Jeff, and then Wall Street Willie. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show, John Galt. What's going on? Welcome to the show,
John.
my man Smitty.
Hey, John, you're gonna be disappointed because we're not talking about rap today.
No rappers. Go ahead, Uncle Jeff. What say you, man?
I agree with Angry Man. Again, we about 97%. There is absolutely nothing that the public school system is or can ever do for black people. I think a lot of the people we complaining about, this French fry grease finna take care of. The taking away of all of these programs, a gang of these people, bruh, them body bags is for somebody. The gang of people ain't gonna make it. What's left are people who understand that you are never supposed to let your oppressor teach your kids, ever. That's what the small hat community understands out the gate. The unity that you are discussing right now is going on right now. My problem with
go ahead.
Hold on real quick. Let him finish. Go ahead, Jeff.
My problem with these conversations is that they remind me of black men who don't want good women; they want to break the bad ones. Because they don't look worth it. That's all they complain about. I don't ever hear about where the good ones are. I don't ever hear about how they exist. Because what you want to do is break a horse when there are corrals of horses that are already broken. Same shit here. We complaining about the niggas that's about to dissolve. A great many of them are going to turn. How many niggas you know over 21 that got kids and they can't read? What you think gonna happen? What you think gonna happen to their grandkids? These people represent the savages. Everybody is not going to make it. I land here. In order for me to entirely buy what you're saying, Angry Man, and I feel you, you are right. But that would mean that the Nation of Islam doesn't exist, that King Randall don't exist, that there are not people, that this problem is not going to be solved by anybody else other than people like on this panel. What needs to happen, real talk, Angry Man, you need to get 9 young boys and go, you niggas is going to read this book around your way. That's how to change. And you get 5 other dudes like you, and y'all get together on a Saturday and find some boys that's worth a fiddler's finger, the ones you ain't got to constantly convince, the ones who are looking for a way out, you provide it. I don't believe that the men here don't know 9 other capable men to start this shit off right where you at, because it ain't gonna start no other way. No boats are coming, niggas. No boats.
Well, I think we agree more than 97%. And the reason why, and maybe I didn't articulate it well enough, whenever I talk about solving the problem overnight, I'm talking about the newer generation. I'm not talking about the Negro, the ninjas that's already out here screwing up. I'm not talking about them. They done. They cooked.
Right.
It's a wrap for them. I'm talking about if we want to salvage the community, what's left of it, we got to deal with what's coming and not what's already here. That's what I'm talking about, because we're talking about from age, from the early ages up to 7. So that's the new people. I'm not talking, because we know as well as I do, even if you have those type of schools, right? Because like there's one brother, here in Raleigh that was part of the mosque here in Raleigh. He had started a school, and it wasn't an Islamic school, but it was like a charter school where the kids wore uniforms or whatever. One of my relatives, they sent their son, was like in elementary school, he was getting into trouble and stuff, and they sent him to that school in like overnight. You know what I'm saying? It changed him overnight. So my whole thing is, I feel like you have to deal with the youth. You can't deal with you. It's easier to train boys to be better men than it is to change men that are already grown. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That makes perfect
Can I
sense.
jump in?
Well, hold on real quick. I apologize because Smitty's been here, Wall Street Willie's been here, and then you're after them. Smitty, did you want to add anything, bro, to the conversation? All right, yo, Wall Street Willie, you there? You want to add anything to the conversation?
See, first of all, John Goat, the blacks.
Like, come on,
Like,
we
I
ain't
know
doing
you.
that. Come on,
All
Wall
right,
Street.
I'm
We're
a
not
chill.
doing that.
Oh man,
I'm a
come
chill.
We're not
on.
doing.
Yeah.
We're having. Hold on, real quick. Time out. We're having a positive build, bro. So if you're not adding to it, I'm gonna drop y'all down. I'm gonna be honest with you. So let's
So I'm gonna keep
build
it
on.
real with you, Izzy. One of
Let's
my
go.
biggest frustrations is this is kind of a rare moment in time that I've never seen in my life, right? Where the full scope and focus of white supremacy wasn't on, in particular, the black community, right? What I don't think a lot of black people understand when they make a lot of bad arguments is the biggest fear of white America right now is every senator in their community having a Z in their last name, right? Dr. Claude Anderson talked about this. If you couldn't accomplish certain things as the primary minority, you'll never get them accomplished as the second minority. Unfortunately, I'm seeing us cross that threshold, right? But even in the midst of that, we have this beautiful time where everything about white supremacy isn't focused on us. And what have we done? We've spent our time, right, ready to fight each other. Corey and Anton, right? This is what we're doing in this rare moment where all the horrible things about America that those of us who know history know aren't solely focused on us. It gets so crazy to the point where we're actually out there marching for Somalis and Mexicans who have no love for us, right? I'm personally at a point where I'm very frustrated with us because I've been screaming from the rooftops, hey, black folk, white folk don't care about you no more. Focus on you, get to the bag, work together, make something happen collectively,
Right.
right?
That's what we
I
doing right
just get in
now.
this, I
Yeah.
just get in,
Right.
go ahead.
Nah, go
Who
ahead.
is us?
Hold
That's what
on.
we doing right now.
Let him land this plane. Hold on. Let him land this plane. Go ahead, Wall
I
Street.
just get in this frustrated place where I see we're not focused on that, right? So on the one side, you'll have the angry mans of the world, like who a portion of his argument I completely agree with, right? Then you'll have the Bracy's of the world, right? Who, as much as I disagree with, there are portions of his argument I agree with. But the reality is there's no room for a moderate, right, in American politics, period, let alone black politics. We already know white folk get a cold, we get AIDS, right? So now all the polarization that we're seeing going on with them, where they're smoking beautiful well, she wasn't beautiful, but I'm saying a good liberal white woman, right? Hey, yo, chill, I'm wilding. Hey, yo, chill, don't pay me. Hold on, let me focus. I'm
Focus,
saying,
man. Come on.
I'm saying in this current political climate that is rampant with polarization, it's either you're over there or over there. There's no room for the moderate. And what happens is we can never have logical conversations about our real issues. Because if I challenge the community, if I challenge black women, the Bracy side gonna say, oh, you one of them old angry man, coon ass Negroes, and you know what I'm saying? And then if I say certain black issues are valid and we don't need to tear ourselves down, y'all will say, see, this is the problem with you Negroes, and you just want to be on the Democratic plantation. There's no room for the moderate. So I've just kind of gotten frustrated, and because I've gotten to a bag, I'm on my business. This is why I subscribe to the Boule Doctrine, right? We only need the talented 10th talking for all of us, right? And the problem is, if you're not going to let us speak, the talented 10th, don't point up the hill later on. Don't point up the hill to that nice house up the hill and say it was all their fault. And I'm
Got you.
just
Well,
seeing this
hold on.
continue. Yeah.
Hold on. Let me
Well,
let
the,
Angry Man and then Modern Renaissance. I know you probably want to get on that too. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Can I go last? I just want to go last.
Yeah. Okay.
well, I agree with a lot of what you're saying. The only place where I kind of disagree is you're 100% right. It should be the top tier black folk speaking for black people, but the only problem is we have this concept of, you ain't no better than me concept, because when it comes to other groups, their top group determines what the rest of the group do, whether they like it or not. It's on some get down or lay down type shit. You feel me? Which is why you see what just happened with old girl. The liberal white women are a problem for America. They've already acknowledged this. And I'm not talking about us black folk. I'm talking about white people acknowledge this. There are white women and white men that's saying the problem is liberal white women. Because
Billy
Hey,
Burrow,
Angry
Saturday
Man.
Night Live.
Hey, Angry Man,
Yeah.
I don't mean to cut you off. I'm adding to your bill, right? I
Look,
went to go troll white people on Fox News about a white woman being shot by ICE. When I looked in the comment section, I said, Jesus Christ,
they don't
they going
care.
harder than me.
They don't care because
So I get your point.
this is a moment in time where we need to really pay attention to something. Because when Becky or Karen gets out of line with what their group needs to do, they don't have no problem checking it. The problem with us is when Keisha get out of line, we want to try to negotiate. And that's why we end up in the situation we end up in. We can't be negotiating with her. And when we know we got to do certain things. So I agree with what you're saying. And when it comes to being moderate, in my opinion, there's certain things that we think we can do that in my opinion is a luxury that we can't afford. You feel me? You can be moderate when you run the show. When your group runs the show, you can be moderate and you can sit around debating on whether this, that, and the third. So I agree with you. There's no room for moderation. Drastic time call for drastic measures.
And as much as I want to disagree with you, I get your point.
No doubt. Hold on. Give me one moment. All right. MRM, did you want to add on to that or say anything?
I get what he's saying as well. I just got a little bit of pushback in regards to when he said, we'll call out things that's going on amongst us. So the way I look at that is this: if my sons are growing up, if there was an issue that they know the rules and the regulations and the oracles that I taught them to do, if they go out and do something out of line, I'm getting ready to get at them. The minute they try to say, but no, Dad, but then they were doing, no, I'm not talking about what they were doing. I'm talking about what you were doing. No, I know, but everybody, no, what did I tell you to do? No, I'm getting you. So my point is saying that is what people like to do is try to say, y'all always coming down on black people. Yeah, because my concern is not with white people. My concern is with us. So what I'm saying therefore is like in medicine, if I sat here right now, black folks, we got a high thing going on with us, high blood pressure.
Come on, Doc.
Huh?
Come on, Doc.
Oh, yeah. If I say we got a thing going on amongst us that's high blood pressure and diabetes, if I call that out, why don't black people get pissed off at me about that? Why don't they get pissed off when I tell you medically we got a high thing going on in our community, high blood pressure and diabetes? Black people, okay, so what do I need to do? That's what we need to be asking. But what we're doing is that if somebody like Ingrid or any of us on this panel, the minute we call out something that's going on amongst us, somehow we've been taught subconsciously get pissed off, become defensive for calling out a metaphorically speaking, medical issue, a social issue that's going on with us. But instead of going, okay, we recognize that, you right. What can we do to fix it? Instead, nigga, you ain't all that. You think because you went to med school and all that, you better than the rest of it. You think because that's what we get. So I get what you're saying as far as being that moderate. But at the same time, people got to be ready to receive. If you're coming saying, I'm just calling out an issue. And the reason why I'm calling out the issue is not to come down on y'all. It's to put a light on it and shine it and say, look what's going on in the darkness. Now, this is what we need to do to fix it. Now, if you want to keep on going to the system or what you call the white man who's going to keep on pushing you pills so you can be a lifelong crackhead to them, then go ahead and do that. But if you want to come to somebody and say, no, let's get to the source of the problem. You're eating the wrong stuff. That's how you fix it. So I'm saying it in a metaphorical way, but I'm coming from a medical background because that's what I do. And the last thing I want to leave at this too is that the reason why some people do this is because they really don't want the problem fixed. I have patients. They love having the problem. They love it. I hear patients compete, they compete amongst each other.
Well,
I have people that are sitting, they'll sit in the lobby, right? They'll sit in the lobby. Yeah. I got to take dexamethasone. I got to take cortisone. I got to take this. And then the other person, well, I got to take this. So the thing is, they like to compete amongst the problems that they have, but nobody's talking about how to fix it. But they love being like a hypochondriac. They really don't want the issue fixed.
Well
they thrive on chaos. They love being a part of that. They don't want it fixed because if they fix, they know it's going to come down to accountability. Get your diet right. Get your food right. Get this right, which means you are going to be solely responsible for fixing you. But they don't want that though.
That's too hard. And give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. That's an excellent point. Shout out to Ella Unk, man. He said, "My brothers, who's trying to get cooked today? Nobody. Listen. In the minute, Ghetto Stoic. I apologize. The panel is full right now. We only have 10 slots. So, if you want to drop somebody, we do have a bounty. If you want to take a spot, but listen, except for Angerman or MRM or Angerman and MRM right now. Now listen, if y'all want your comments highlighted in red, do so through the super chat or through the Cash App. We have a full panel trying to get to everybody, let them speak. So if you want your comments highlighted in red, do so through the super chat or through the Cash App. I appreciate you. Go ahead, Uncle Jeff, you got it. And then after that, let me see. I apologize. John Galt, and then Cell is after that. Go ahead, Jeff, you got it.
You went back to Jeff. You skipped me, man.
No, hold on, real quick. Hold on, John Go. I didn't skip you. What happened was he was replying to a specific thing that Wall Street Willie said, and I'm gonna give you a chance to make your own point. Go ahead. Go ahead, Jeff.
Okay. One, I don't think y'all hear me because we are still complaining about the niggas that ain't.
Wait. Hold on, real quick. I apologize, Uncle Jeff. I was giving you a moment to respond to Wall Street Willie's point. Is this because really, if you was coming with a whole new point, then I have to let John go first.
Oh, okay. Okay. Go ahead. Let John go.
Okay, John, you got it. You got it. I thought he was replying to that.
I deal with black people. I deal with black people. And
the black.
Come on, Willie. I told you already, bro. You know I mean what I say. I said what I mean, bro. Come on.
My fault, SBI. My fault.
You can't help it. But I just try to be honest, and I think that a lot of blacks, we're not being honest with ourselves. It's hard dealing with black people. Everybody knows it. So much so that if blacks get a little bit of money, they get the hell away from other blacks. You got to solve that problem because you're diluting yourself. Like, I don't know, if you can't solve that, all these schools, nobody's gonna send their children to school with the majority of other blacks. They move. That's shit. If you ask me, that's what drives property values. Get into a neighborhood where you can send your child to school away from blacks. No one wants to say these things. And it has to be said, and the problem has to be resolved because many blacks do not have the money and will never have the money to get to these good neighborhoods, and they're going to be left behind. And maybe there's some good ones left behind. And it's very unfair to them that we can't solve the problem. Maybe we need to put some of these bad blacks out of school. Just be honest. Like, hey, man, you're causing so much damn trouble in school. Just put you out. I don't know what the solution is. But I know I see a lot of blacks going poor, trying to move to more affluent neighborhoods, putting their kids in private school, whatever the case may be. That's not the solution to me.
Now, hold on.
Wait, hold on, Willie. Hold on real quick, Willie. Come on, man.
You know I'm ready to cook the black.
Okay, well, hold on. If you could retort to his point, just keep it to the point. Keep it to the point.
So he was kind of speaking to a man like myself, right? that has moved from Harlem into a beautiful neighborhood where I have an elevated deck in the back of my house. My question to you is, what is wrong with me gentrifying white neighborhoods? You ever thought about it like that? I'm trying to bring every Negro that I know from Harlem that ever went to the skate key with me to where I am. So while you make it like, oh, and the blacks want to move to white neighborhoods to do better. No, we just want better school systems for our kids. We want better amenities. There's nothing wrong with that, right? It doesn't seem like you have a problem with whites gentrifying black neighborhoods. Now, for me, seems like they're going backwards. They're going where I'm leaving. But why do you never view it as me gentrifying a white neighborhood? You ever thought
All right.
about that?
Wait, let him answer you. Go ahead, John. Go. You can answer.
Well, first off, if you read like the history of Harlem, I live in New York part time. Those areas were white before they were black. They going back and forth. Those areas, those brownstones up on like 145th and all those areas, they were not built for black people. Let's be honest. Right? Some of those houses, just the masonry and the quality of work, it was not built for blacks. So, if you want to keep going all the way back, you'll find that the houses were really built for white people. Hell, where I live in the ghetto right now. These houses were not built for black people. White people used to live here. They were built by white people, right? 100 years ago, blacks would come along. Now they turn into a ghetto and made it affordable for some black people like myself. But where the white people want to live and where the blacks want to send their children, where Obama sent his children, is nowhere around here. He sent his children to school with the whites, where it costs $50,000, $60,000 a year. He didn't want to send his children to school in Southeast DC. Why not? He talks all that black stuff. Why he didn't want to send his children to school in Southeast? They just like his children, aren't they? What's
Because
the
it's
difference?
your neighborhood, sir.
Okay. So, yeah, but my children aren't in school over here, so I ain't the problem. It's the children over here that he did not want to send his kids to school with, right? But no one would ask him why. Why didn't you send your kids
I've
to school with
answered
the
you
blacks in
why a
DC?
million times.
So
There are black men that are building things, right?
Okay.
We're going to different neighborhoods, right? How you try to demonize us for wanting better, why don't you view that, because you ran from the question, right? Gentrification is going on right in your community. That's why you're slumlord renting those one-bedroom apartments to the people you're renting them to, right? But white people are going backwards. They're about to kick you out, right? Why do you not view what I'm doing as me gentrifying a white neighborhood?
Well,
Why
one
is it I'm running?
could reasonably ask you, Willie, why did you leave Harlem?
Wait, no.
instead of
Because white
Hey,
people are
hold
moving in.
on. Hold on. No. We're not doing that. There's too many people on the panel to do that. He asked you a direct question. If you're not willing to answer his direct
No,
question,
answer. What's your question again, Willie?
I gotta pass the mic.
What's your question again, Willie?
Why, when you preface what the blacks are doing, right? Why don't you preface it as me, as the black you talking about, that's moved out of Harlem into a community where now I own a home, where me, my mama, my granddaddy, everybody was renting, right? Why don't you view that as progress? Us gentrifying a neighborhood, us building something.
Well,
Why do you only view it as
I'm about to
the
answer your question.
blacks?
I'm about to answer your question.
Go ahead.
I lived in New York a long time, right? Still have a house there. And all I hear is the blacks are complaining about gentrification in Harlem. They're complaining about the whites coming in. You left, right? You could have bought a house in Harlem, presumably, but you went somewhere else and bought one. But the blacks in Harlem, they're complaining about the white landlords and gentrification, and rent prices. Why didn't you stay there?
Wait. So you okay? So time out. So you're just not gonna answer that question?
I mean,
okay.
I don't know what his question is.
No. Hold on. Time out.
I've been asking him this.
I got you, Wall Street. I got you. So the question is quite simply, why don't you view it the other way around when he moves to a predominantly white neighborhood and he's bringing his family and his friends with him to that neighborhood?
Okay, all right. Here's the question. Okay, here's my answer. First off, you're not bringing your friends and your family. You can't afford to do that. You might bring one. You might bring one friend, but you're not buying houses for your friends and family to go gentrify Westchester. You're going by yourself. Maybe you're trying to convince somebody to move out there with you and bring their family, but you're not buying some big plantation and all y'all are just living on one big estate. That's not what's happening. Maybe you're convincing them. But
So
most
is that
people
why?
don't just move. Go ahead, Trey.
So let's
Okay.
make it succinct. Hold on real quick, Anger Man. You got it next. Let's make it succinct. So basically the answer is you don't think that he's moving enough people in those neighborhoods to count as gentrification. Got it. Go ahead,
course
Anger
not.
Man. What say
Of
you?
course not.
Okay, so what he said kind of was targeted at what I said also. Number one, education is the solution. I'm not talking about black people using their money to create a bunch of private schools nationwide. Black people lobby for everything that they want. Black people freaking complain until they get certain things that they want. The problem is priorities. The problem is priorities, right? There is nothing in this country of material that black people have not been able to attain. Okay? Every single thing that white people have been able to do in this country at this point, materially, as far as material, black people have been able to do. They've been able to buy Bentleys, they've been able to buy freaking yachts, they've been able to buy nice houses, they've been able to buy all of these different things. So we don't have a problem as far as making money. We don't have that problem, right? Black people are making more money now than they've ever made in the history of this country. The problem is priorities. The problem is when we have these black cities where we have people that are councilmen, we have people that are mayors, we have people that are in the local government. They are not complaining enough or pushing the issue enough about schools. They're just not. You don't have to have a private school. You could have a magnet school. You could have a charter school. The problem is we do not prioritize education like that. There was one point where we prioritized secondary education. Back in the day, everybody wanted to go to college. The problem is we're not prioritizing early education. If we prioritize early education, the other problems would fix themselves. As far as what you're referencing is black people don't want to deal with other black people because they're difficult to get along with. That's facts. Black people are difficult to get along with, but it comes from education. It comes from education. It comes from the early education of black people. That's where it comes from.
Hey, Anchorman, can I ask you a question?
Wow.
Hey, hold on real quick before you do that. Cell, you're next. Go ahead, John. You can ask a quick question. Anger Man, you can answer and then Cell say like that.
I don't know much about Corey Holcomb, but I'm assuming that Anton Daniels is educated. I'm assuming both of them have high school graduates.
Diplomas.
And look at how they behave. Man, I see some of the worst behavior from some of the black college graduates. I just don't think the simple answer, education, I don't think it's it. Because I see bad behavior from college graduates just the same as high school dropouts.
Well, here's the thing. You're leaving certain things out. Number one, you're talking about two brothers that have very different educational backgrounds. Two different comprehension levels, right? So what I'm talking about is that conversation would have been entirely different if it had been Anton Daniels with somebody else with the same mind frame as an Anton Daniels. That would have been a different conversation, right? And even with them disagreeing with each other, them two, look, we got to give these brothers credit, regardless of the fact that they disagree with each other, regardless of the fact that they got in each other's face. They didn't put hands on each other. They didn't fight each other, right? They didn't fight each other. At one point, Anton got up and he left. Okay, so it's not like we looking at two ignorant Negroes that was just got to arguing and got to fighting and scuffling and tore up everything. So that didn't happen. As much as I agree with some of the things you're saying about the behavior of black people, I'm not going to deny that. The problem is we have a issue with prioritizing certain things in the black community. It's gotten worse over time. There was a time we did prioritize education. If you go back to the 1920s and the 30s or whatever, when black people did prioritize education, you see where black people went in the 40s and the 50s in spite of Jim Crow. So my point is, it's education. That's one of the things. The other thing is the family unit, but that's a whole nother story.
No doubt. Let me welcome some people. Shout out to American Tradesman. What's up, man? Trucker Yell, thank you for the $2. He said the black. Trademark that, Wall Street. Yo, shout out to Gospel Bob. What's up, family? What's good? Savage in the building. What's up, Savage? What's going on, bro? How you doing? Hey, the GOAT is in the building. What's up, Taz? What's going on? The GOAT is here. So Pierce in the building. What's up? What's up? Said right. How you doing, family? Make sure y'all like, y'all share, y'all subscribe. Listen, if you want your comments highlighted in red, do so through the super chat or through the Cash App. There's too many people on the panel, so I love y'all, but we got to do so through the super chat or the Cash App. All right, if y'all want me to get to your comment, go ahead.
And let me just add this little bit before you move on. And here's the thing: the proof is already there. You look at any group of people that are doing well in this country, and you go look at where they send their children to school. You go look at the schools that they go to, and you're going to notice a fundamental difference between that and the schools that they go to in Memphis, the schools they go to in some of these inner cities. It's drastically different.
Anger, man, I went to a black college.
Hold on. Django, I apologize.
Sorry about it.
Say like podcast turn. Go ahead, say like you got it.
Yo, what up, though? Y'all having a great build. The thing is, though, speaking to the whole entire thing, it starts at a local level, so it's definitely education. What John Go, in my opinion, what John Go is relating to, you using a moment where some ignorance popped off because there was a breakdown in the conversation, which that conversation could have been good between them two, but their agendas was different. Corey's intent was to be pretty much hoodish, and although Anton can be, that's not his scope. So if we're going to use that as a barometer to gauge all of the black community, then you have to, pretty much look at the fact that education will solve that problem. Everything can't be ghetto all the time. Everything can't be hood all the time. But that's a point that how America looks at black people, because when we look at the situation where you have content creators, black content creators who are putting out educational information and material, they get the least of the shine. But when it's a breakdown between Anton and Corey, you got 50 different podcasters and 80 different content creators doing video uploads about two black men getting into it. Not about two black men having a educational conversation that can uplift people, but just because they got into it. We're gonna overlook the fact that Corey was there to pretty much champion for the hood, but at the same time, we're not gonna look at the fact that that was a bad look on how it is that someone with a low level intellect and politics couldn't exist in the conversation, so they had to find a way out. So they chose disrespect.
And listen, well, I want to add to that, man. One thing I wanted to give Anton credit for, and I want to get back to this Anton video. I don't know if anybody else caught this, but Anton is using this as a way to push forth the agenda that he was pushing forth all along. He's using this to have a megaphone and really go forth with the message. I don't know if anybody else caught that. So shout out to Anton, and shout out to him kind of pivoting it and staying to the message that he was trying to push forward. What do y'all think about that? What do y'all see in that particular round?
Definitely, it's an opportunity to get the message out there, because you look at the situation like this. That's Anton's whole this. That's what he stuck to from the moment he was there until it became disrespectful. But it just proves the point. If you're going to bring up politics, don't step into it. I can't bring up the medical field to MRM and say that I know more than him. And that man's not only is he college educated, that's his job, that's his career. But then if I'm going to disrespect MRM and say that, oh, you don't know more than me because I'm in the hood, it's just like, what they got to do with anything? You see what I'm saying?
I mean, these are 50-year-old men. These are 50-year-old men offering to go out back, man. Like, you got to address that, bro.
Yeah, and that was unfortunate. But see, here's the thing. Even in that conversation, you see the divide between a certain type of black man and another type of black man. Corey Holcomb was using a jail reference as the barometer for masculinity and manhood. And Anton
It was
said,
valid though.
no,
No,
it
1-6, one
wasn't.
mic, one mic. No, it wasn't. It
How
wasn't.
No, it wasn't.
Hold
No,
on,
it
hold on.
wasn't.
Let him finish. Let him finish. Wall Street. Go ahead, Angry
No,
Man.
no, it wasn't. Here's the thing, bro. Here's the thing. There are certain things that masquerade as things, right? I'm not saying that dudes in jail don't carry it a certain way. If you go to jail in there, there's certain things you can't do because it's going to get called out, and there is a certain level of masculinity. The problem is it's a bastardized form of it. You understand what I'm saying? So it does exist, but you can't use that as the barometer, right? And that's the reason why Anton was like, yo, I don't know nothing about jail. I don't want to know nothing about jail, which is an accurate statement, because we shouldn't be judging the level of a man based on whether or not he went to jail and how he handled it when he went to jail. You can't do that.
Bro,
Has
I
Corey
respect
been to
it.
jail?
Hold on,
Has
hold
Corey?
on,
Wait a
hold
minute.
on.
Has Corey been to jail?
No,
No.
he hasn't. Go ahead, Wall Street.
No,
Let Wall
but
Street get it.
that wasn't the point, right? What Corey asked him specifically was, "Have you ever been around dudes that's been in jail?" Now,
Right. That was a
I'm
lie.
not,
He
I'm
lied.
not championing, I'm not being a champion of jail in any way, right? But I will say it did play a part in developing my masculinity, right? And one thing you know is respect is everything, right? So for me, the reason why Antoine Daniels completely lost that for me, right, is because you claim the higher ground. So you never should have came down to that level, right? Like it makes sense that that's where Corey's gonna deal with you because people get punched in the face on this platform, right? So that's in his sphere, right? But now you want to play tough, you want to come down to this level, but you really not like that. All of that, let's go in the back and all of that. Anybody who's been in the streets, who's gone to clubs and gotten the stuff, no. The dude running talking about meet me outside, he wants the bouncers to break it up. Right?
that's bad.
Come on. Hold
Hey
up, hold up.
Willie, hey,
Come
hey
on,
Willie,
bro.
One mic.
Let me
One mic. Hold on. One mic.
let me
Let him
cook it.
finish.
I'm gonna land.
Let
I'm
him
gonna keep
finish.
it
Oh,
short.
go ahead. Go ahead and land.
What
Go
I'm
ahead.
saying to you is in that situation, right, as goofy, right, as a portion, as much as I respect the brother, right? I be having my issues with Corey. He go too far sometimes. But the one thing you can give him in that situation is he was the one expected to push it to the next level, right? So Anton doesn't get points for going to a level, right? That everything about your rhetoric is this is the problem. And you see the blacks and all of that, right? So now you've come down to that level. Come on, we could go outside, but you're not really like that. Corey, on the other hand, always talks that, look, don't play with me a certain way. Men expect a certain amount of respect. And he held a certain level of decorum, right? So he was the one expected to crash out. And he's actually the one that, look,
All
I'm
right.
really trying not to punch you in your face, but I promise you, say it one more time,
Nah, but that
and
was
I'll take
corny.
another
Bro,
Oh,
lawsuit,
hold on,
right?
one mic. Give me 1 second. That was corny right there of Corey. And like I said, I believe honestly that Anton went too far. That's what I believe personally.
Right.
At the same time, the truth of the matter is that when y'all try to apply, and I'm gonna pass it to Ingram after this, when you try to apply street rules to the internet, you lose every single time. And that's just something I had to learn early and something I really caught early. I can't apply my street cred, my street life, how I rock in the street to the internet. It just does not translate. Go ahead,
okay.
Angry Man. What say you?
Okay. So here's the thing, bro. I gotta disagree with this because to say that, okay, well, Anton is in this space, so Anton should have took the higher ground. Corey's known for XYZ, so we expect Corey to do that. That's the bigotry of low expectations. I don't agree with that, right? I don't agree with that. I get what you're saying, but I don't agree with that because here's the thing, right? As a culture, we have a problem with initiations into manhood, right? We don't have any, right? And the initiations that we do have, they come later in life and they are a bastardized form of it, right? So it's kind of like when somebody breaks their leg or whatever and it's not set right and it still heals, but it heals incorrectly. This is what's going on. Like our
It's not that rite of passage. I'm with you.
Yeah, our forms of rite of passage, unfortunately, is going to jail or prison, going to the military, or having a kid, right? The problem is we were supposed to already have that rite of passage. We were supposed to already have that initiation into manhood before we messed up and went to jail, or before we decided to go to the military, or before we had a kid.
MRM, you got it next. You got it next.
So
MRM.
the problem is we're already going into a situation that's a masculine situation when we weren't equipped or prepared for it. So we're not developing properly. We're developing, and I'm not going to take away. Look, I've been arrested before, and I know dudes in jail, they don't play like that, right? And the reason why they don't play like that is because of the environment. You know, you feel me? You don't have no choice.
Respect is everything, right?
You gotta deal with each other because you in there. You feel what I'm saying? So I get that. But the problem is whenever you're a free man and you're a dude that never went to jail, to try to use that as the barometer, it's like, yo, it's kind of like when dudes try to use the military as an example of something, but they never been in the military. Like it's stolen valor. Like, why you speaking on jail and you never went? Because look, when Anton asked him, have you been to jail? And he said no. That should have ended the conversation right there.
No doubt. Hey, yo, hold on real quick. Hey, Q Butter, man. Shout out to Q Butter in the chat, man. Much respect to you. Hey, Q, if you got time, you want to come up, you're more than welcome to come up here, man. And join the conversation. I know you don't totally agree, but you're more than welcome to come up here, Q Butter, if you want to come through, man. Shout out to you, bro. Shout out to Q Butter. My bad. MRM, you got the floor. What say you, bro?
Man, one thing I say every time I go to a speaking engagement, one of the things I always say, especially if I'm coming amongst our community, I will say, I hope it's nobody here in this crowd, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be some here. What I'm going to talk about, a lot of you guys are going to disagree with, but understand this. I've done this for a while. If you have nothing intellectually to say to rebuttal the facts that I'm spewing out, your only response is to become defensive, is to start calling me names, or you want to get physical. That's it, right? So I have to disagree with him as well, because Anton was simply trying to lay out, hey, a blanketed statement. Corey flipped it to something else. Corey, y'all all know this, y'all heard it. Corey, when he said, you kissed the butts of Caucasian men, Anton said, well, you sucked the black people. Now all of a sudden, you got triggered. And again, if you don't have nothing intellectually say to rebuttal, what you add into as far as the facts go, your only response is to become defensive, start calling names, and wanting to fight. What did Corey do? So to say that Anton is the one that didn't know, it's like, and Anton, if you go back and watch it, Anton literally said in the midst of that, I'm giving you the same energy. So what I'm saying is this. In my case, and I don't care who it is, you can go. I got thousands of videos that I've had since I had this platform and went at it with some people. You will never see it to where I blatantly just turned around and got disrespectful, even start calling you names, because I know once you go there, I got you. I triggered you. And I always say this too. I make my young people remember that. The intellectual phrase, I make them remember that. And the other one is this. I can't be offended by anybody that I don't love.
Woo!
You can't offend me. The only people that can offend me are those that I love. So therefore, if I was to meet Corey or whoever else, I don't care what you throw at me. And I know there's some rules. I came up from the hood. I know there's rules that you're not supposed to do. You ain't supposed to tell no nigga nothing like this. You ain't supposed to say nothing like this. You ain't supposed to come from nobody's wife. You ain't supposed to speak on their wives and say stuff about their wife. But since I know that you may do that to try to trigger me, I'm not gonna let you win. I'm not gonna let you get that. So even if you do, that's why your wife, or that's why this. Try again. Come on, try again. What else? Come on. Coon, tap dancing. Go ahead, keep on trying. And when they know that they can't get you, that's when they get pissed off and want to come to blows. But at last, I'm gonna leave it at this. I'm not the baddest dude in the world. I'm not the toughest dude in the world. But most people that come to my speed engagement, I let them know, let's keep this cordial, but understand this. Call me names, do all that. Just please don't touch me. Because that's all. Just don't touch me. I don't care. You can call it fear. I will bite your nose. I will bite your lips. I will bite anything and rip you to pieces. I don't care. You might get some licks in, but I guarantee people gonna be trying to wonder why your nose missing. That's all I'm saying. I'm not the toughest dude, but just don't do that. If you can't handle the conversation, you're not built for this.
All right, but hold up. See, this is the only problem, right? On an intellectual level, right? In that exchange, the only question that was ran from was, why you ain't got no smoke for white people?
Because
That
it wasn't
was
about white people.
Hold on. Hear me out.
Real quick. Hold on real quick, MRM. Let him finish this point.
Hear me out.
Hey,
That's
shout out to
the
Q Butter.
only-
Welcome to the panel, Q.
Now, don't
I'm
pay
on
Q
that.
Butter no
peace,
mind.
y'all,
He got a
peace, y'all.
bad hairline, B. Let me
Hey, yo,
finish my
they
point.
show me love on their chat, even though they tried to give it the business that one time. But shout out to
Q, my
Psychopathia's chat.
brother.
Shout out to Q Butter.
But hold on, here's the point though. If we're talking about on an intellectual level, the only question that was ran from in that whole thing, right, was why you ain't got no smoke for white people.
That's not
White
That's
an
man.
the
White
question
man.
that was
intellectual question.
ran from, right?
That's not
White
an
man.
So,
intellectual
All right,
so
question.
hold on.
One mic,
So for me,
one mic.
right, you automatically lose the way I've been raised when you say anything comes before black, right? I'm not even anti-religion, but you will not find a white man, right? If you ask the white man that, he would say, well, of course I'm white, but I'm a Christian too, right? He's never gonna disassociate himself from blackness. So that was on an intellectual level to these black conversations. That was a valid question. And all the turn up, right? Him going even further, because he could have just simply met him where he was, right?
Right.
Well, you be kissing
Hold
black
on.
folk ass, right? And
Right.
we could
Now
have just
I
left
agree.
it there.
Right now, I'm gonna tell you this, yo, Wall Street. I said that earlier. I agree wholeheartedly with you. That was my point. I believe personally that sucking D is a different level than kissing. You know, when we say
He
you kiss somebody's
purposely
ass.
turned
Right.
it up
Right.
because
Right.
he
So,
didn't want to
hold on.
answer the
Right.
question.
Right.
Thank
So,
you.
right. So I
Nah.
agree. Hold on, real quick. So I agree wholeheartedly with that. That's me personally. I see that the same way. I saw that the exact same way, to be honest with you. Right now, Sel, what say you trying to get in there? What say you?
That was not no intellectual question whatsoever. What that was he was trying to check the temperature of Anton's blackness. He was trying to validate Anton's blackness. He was challenging how much loyalty that Anton had to the black community. You don't ask a racially driven question and try to count it as intellectual. That's not intellectual. I can't sit up here and say that you're not a part of us because you won't question white people and say that that's going to gauge the level of your IQ. That's nowhere near intellectual. What Corey was trying to do was in that moment, because we all know that Anton didn't win at white people. Period. Plenty of times. He had a whole show where he completely roasted white people. So for Corey to even bring that up, one, that lets you know that one, he's not researched on Anton, and two, apparently you're not researched on how black conservative men move. And I said this before, I'll say it again. There's a political hierarchy when it comes to the liberal Democratic Party and the black community. It's white liberal women at the top. They love them the most. Then behind them is black liberal women. Up behind them is black liberal men, and behind them is white liberal men. So what Corey was trying to do was he was trying to call in a question, because what Corey needed was for Anton to validate liberal black democratic niggas to be above white men. That's not Anton's job to do. If you feel like you need to be above white men, then go perform and be better than white men. But I'm not here. You can't check my black card by saying that, oh, I need to say something about white men to you. Who is you? You're not nothing. You're not nothing. Hold on, Wall Street.
Hold on, Wall Street. Go ahead.
The thing is, Wall Street, and also you can't gauge someone based off of this barometer of, oh, well, jail this, jail that. We're glorifying and promoting a culture that literally put us in a position to where we can't even grow. You can go into jail and you can get knowledge. Guess what? You can get knowledge on the street. You can get knowledge in school. You can get knowledge at your job. You can get culture all within the world. You don't need to be in jail to do that. You can become a man outside the bars. But yet and still, in the black community, we glorify the bars like it. That's what make us hard.
We got you. Let me let Wall Street respond briefly, Wall Street, and then let me let Q Butter get in there, and then we're gonna open it up to everybody. Go ahead, Wall Street, briefly.
I wasn't done yet.
Come on, bro. I
know you good. It was about the ass kissing part and the D part.
Well, let him go.
All right, go ahead.
So the ass kissing part, right? Some people say that that Anton saying, you know, the part about polish and pipe that was worse than what Corey said about kissing the white man's behind. My thing is this though: when you're challenging someone's blackness to say that they're kissing a white man's behind, that's another form of calling them a coon. That's another form of this whole light skin versus dark skin thing. It's trying to put Anton in a category or a class to say that he's more than willing to tap dance for white people, but not do the same for black people. And that's what Corey was doing, and that's why it was off center.
All right, go ahead, Walter. You got it.
So here's the problem, right? Like there are certain things you can say, like to the term coon. Q Butter called me a coon twice a month when I get off track, right? That I don't take that as disrespect, especially when it comes from my brother, right? Let's not misclassify the whole jail portion of it. All he is saying is, if you are black, 9 times out of 10, right? If you're from a black community, right? The ghettos, as we would call it. You've had some interaction with people that have done time. The one thing they will teach you is certain things you don't say to another man. You could tell me kiss your ass. You could tell me I'm a coon. You could tell me I'm a monkey. A white man may be able to, nah, I would set it on the white man for that. But I'm saying, the one thing you can't say to me, brother, is to put me in no approximation to me. It's baby oil you out here in these streets. Don't play with me with that term. You dig what I'm saying? So I think Antoine purposely turned it up. Now, I'm not against that if you're willing to crash all the way out. You know, at a certain point, when you're going to meet somebody where they at, you got to punch them in the face. If not, if you wanna reserve the high road, stay on the high road, right? You got to be able to shrug that like, all right, kissing ass, whatever. If you want to maintain the high road. But if you're going to come down here with me, you got to be willing to fight. And everything about that, right? Me watching that as a man that's been in fights before, yeah, he really didn't want the smoke. So it was an L. But like I said, ideologically, he takes the high road. So you automatically lose coming down. And Corey automatically wins for not punching you in your face.
Nah. Hold on, real quick. One mic, y'all. No, I don't agree with that, but you know what I'm saying? Some parts of what you said, well, I agree with, but the last part I don't. But Q Brother, let me let you get in there. And then I heard John Go asking to get in there, and then I think I heard Angry Man. It was a lot of people talking at one time, so I apologize. Go ahead.
Q Brother, fix your hairline. Go ahead, bro.
Okay.
Yo, y'all can hear me?
Hold on.
All right, y'all.
Yeah, Q. Go ahead, Q Brother, you got it.
That's a 6x2 terminal. All right. Yo, what's good, y'all? Yo, that honestly, I think the whole thing was sad and corny. I don't even know how. I don't even know, like, because personally, I think it started when he brought up his girl, and then they started having the exchange started switching when they started going back and forth with the girl reference. And I think the jail reference got caught in between him trying to let him know, like, you don't understand that you doing too much and you asking questions that you shouldn't be asking. And then from there it just got, but it was honestly, that shit was whack. I ain't gonna lie. It was just, him telling him the SMD, he definitely turned up on that one. Corey Olin telling him that he's kissing white people ass. I mean, it is what it is, but I don't know. I just thought it was corny. And then I mean, he said SMD like 30 times after. He's like, you can't tell me I SMD. You can't tell me. I'm like, yo, bro, that's wild. Ayo, like, either you should have just told him pause, watch your mouth, and kept it pushing, or you should have just snuffed him as soon as he said it.
Right. We agree with both of that. But that's where we from. You from Brooklyn, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm from Brooklyn too. So that's a Brooklyn thing, I think. You know what I'm saying? I'm from Brownsville, so that's how we would have handled it. And like I said, to be honest, I'm not YouTube enough. I'm not YouTubian enough that I think I wouldn't have snuffed him if he said that to me. I would have snuffed him. I'd have tried to take his head off. But that's just me. And I would have been wrong and it would have been stupid. I'm gonna be honest with you, because the truth of the matter is you can't bring street politics to this YouTube game. And when you do, you lose every time. So that's why I gotta give the L to Corey, because he allowed Anton to trick him out his position. Anton was comfortable.
Quick question.
Hold on real quick.
No,
Go ahead.
Would you have snuffed him if you was just beating a lawsuit?
Nah, I'm saying I'm not. it would have took everything in me not to snuff him. The only other thing that Corey should have did was just come back at him like, yo, like, you know what I'm saying? Corey's a comedian. He could have roasted him. Corey's a comedian. He should have came back in another way like, yo, it's you deflecting. It's funny that you're trying to bring up meat to deflect off the fact that you don't want to talk about these white men. That's the only other option he had.
Why is nobody asking why did he even bring up white men, period, when that wasn't even the subject?
Well,
that's what I'm trying to. I ain't trying to cut off, but I was
let
trying
Angry
to.
Man get in it.
I thought it was on me. But fair enough.
He brought it up because Corey made a statement about something that Anton was saying.
Mm-hmm.
And he was trying to say that Anton was including everybody in his statement. And Anton said, no, I'm not saying everybody. That's just like there's people out here that can say all black people are dumb. That don't make, but before he could say that don't make it so, Corey's like, see what I mean? Why don't you use white people as the example? Why don't you say people can say that all white people are dumb? And that's when it went into the whole thing about why you don't never call out white people and stuff like that. It was a goofy tactic, right? That everybody acts like was innocent. It wasn't innocent. He did that on purpose because he didn't have nothing for whatever Anton was saying, right?
And Angry Man, not to cut you off real quick. I promise you, not to cut you off real quick. Just let me say this real quick. And Angry Man, before that, Corey is the one that brought up the thing about black people. He said, because if you get pulled over and you get shot, nothing get done. And that's when Anton started going on that part right there. So he's the one that actually brought up the black. And when Anton's getting ready to give him the facts of the blacks, he switched. Why aren't you saying about white people? It's like he knew he's about to come with it, and he's.
Yo, when Angry Man done, I want to be able to speak, right?
He was strawmanning the argument because he was out of his depth.
One second, hold on, Wall Street. 1 second. Let Angry Man finish. Then let me let John go get in there, and then we're gonna open up Wall Street, and we're gonna open it up for everybody. It's a lot of people up here, so bear with me, y'all. I'm trying to work it out. Go ahead, AM, you got it.
But here's the thing: I'm not saying the other part that I gotta keep harping on. I'm not saying that telling another man to suck your new you know what is not insulting. The problem is I don't know about the rest of y'all, but being brought up in the household that I was brought up in, around the black men that I was around, knowing the entire history of black people, you feel me, and being former fruit of Islam, you telling me I kiss Caucasian ass is worthy of me snapping out, bro. I don't know why y'all don't agree with this. It doesn't make sense to me. It's different than you just saying, man, kiss my ass. You said he's kissing Caucasian ass, bro. That's a whole different level.
But Angry Man, this is a conversation between two black men that had.
I got you, Wall Street. Give me a second. I apologize, man. Let me let John get in here, and then I got you. You next, and then Q Butter wanted to finish, and then we could go back and forth. Go ahead, because I know this now. This is the thing. This is a dynamic. Hey, listen, if y'all ain't hit the like button for this, I don't know what y'all doing. We got heavy hitters. We got Angry Man. We got MRM. We got Q Butter, Say Light Podcast, myself, Wall Street Willie, Dago, Omni. Man, we got everybody out there. My man, my newfound friend, the Ghetto Stoic, man. And Will, come on, man. Y'all need to hit the like button, hit the share button, subscribe, and support this show, man. And listen, this is calm. I don't know how long it's gonna stay like this, but this is calm, man. Shout out to the grace and mercy of God. But go ahead, John, go. You got it, and then we're gonna.
I think what we're seeing here is the dichotomy in Black America. You got Wall Street Willie who makes a compelling argument on his side. You got Angry Man who makes a compelling argument on his side. And this is what I'm saying. Like I deal with the Wall Street Willies and the Angry Man in my business. They're incompatible. I can't put them in the same houses with each other. Trust me on that. And so now they meet in a public space like YouTube. It wasn't a surprise to me that it went sideways. Because what you have is Wall Street Willie and an Angry Man up on the panel. They're seeing things totally different. They're both black. They're both maybe aligned against the white man. But down on the street, like where I am, like, bro, these people are in different worlds. They're just as different as black and white. That's why Wall Street Willie comes at it from one perspective. Angry Man and you come at it from another perspective. Neither one of you I'm not saying you're right or wrong. I'm saying that you're looking at it from different lenses. And that's what we're seeing here. I'm a landlord. I see this shit all day. Trying to blend blacks, whites, professional blacks with working class blacks. All this shit, there's a lot of conflicts there. Down on the level that you guys never see, never talk about. You think everything's hunky-dory between you guys. But Wall Street Willie and the Angry Man can't live together. Just like they having this conflict here about the Anton and Wall Street is siding with Corey. Angry Man is siding with Anton. These are irreconcilable differences. Trust me on that. I'm the landlord to these niggas.
Divorce. That's a straight divorce.
All right, so hold up. Number one, you don't deal with Wall Street Willies because I don't rent rooms, right? I own a home. So hold on, here's my point, right? Me and Angry Man could disagree on a lot. We'll find places where we agree. We could smoke cigars together and chill. So no, I don't subscribe to what you're saying, right? What I'm saying is, in this conversation between these two black men that had a pretext, it was a build-up to this conversation. If you listen to them, yeah, we needed to have this conversation. So they understood the differences in opinion. Now I'm gonna land here real short. In a world where I watched a lot of conservative Negroes wear red hats, right? And I can't find one nigga with a bad hairline nowhere in the MAGA administration. It is a fair question to ask, why are you kissing the white man's ass? In my opinion, that's a question for me that did need to be asked, right? You're wearing this hat, you're subscribing to these things, and these people letting you know ain't no room in the inn. You're not welcome over here, right? Tim Scott is the greatest coon in all of coonery. He didn't even get a spot in the MAGA administration. So to ask why you're kissing these people's ass, right? For absolutely nothing, that was a fair question to ask.
Yeah, that same measure can be said about why it is that black men supported it.
Hold on, Sal, because it's Q Butter's turn. But I mean, yeah, I let me just say this real quick, because I know Angry Man yourself and maybe even MRM want to get in this. Listen, I just don't think, and Q Butter, I was having sort of this conversation over there on Psychopathia. Shout out to him. I don't know if you remember that a little while back. I came over there and I chopped it up with y'all, right? The thing is this, right?
That was a good night.
Yeah, shout out to you, Walsh. You know, we're familiar with each other, but that was the first time I ever was on a panel with Q Butter, right? But this is the thing, Q Butter, and I want to pass this to you. And this is what I was trying to get you to understand the other time, right? Just because you are a so-called conservative, as a black person, so-called black person in America, does not mean that you're a coon. And I think the problem is a lot of times that's associated with being a coon, when a lot of times the conservatives, the brothers that are conservatives, just have traditional viewpoints and traditional mindset, which the truth of the matter is that's where we started from, right? That's where Big Mom and them and Papa and them and all our elders and ancestors, that's where they started from more of a traditional, a conservative perspective and viewpoint, so to speak. Now, I know that you have some different viewpoints on that, and I'm gonna let you speak on it, and then I'm gonna let Angry Man, MRM, and Cell get in on it, because I know they got other perspectives. We could go back and forth. What say you, Q Butter, on that?
I learned a lot off of YouTube about my people. You know what I mean? Just the diversity in how we express ourselves and how we understand our plight in the country with each other. Yeah, this easy to throw the coon out. You know what I mean? Like it's this perspectives. I understand what John was saying. There's a spectrum to which we understand blackness in the country and how black people. Because if you go back to I was just watching the interview again. Like it was up. Forget the female thing. I didn't watch the part when they was arguing over voting.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It was up from the voting conversation. I think really what matters for me in the conversation is how we actually engage with each other and communicate each other as men. And I think both of them dropped the ball on that, because at the end of the day, like when I'm on YouTube, my brother Taz, I'll tell you that he'll tell you, like I always try to be cordial with people, because then like you can get shot for what you say. I don't believe in that, this internet separation. I got dead friends because of the internet. I got friends in jail for a long time because of what they said on YouTube.
Wow.
You know, and so for me, I take
that,
what
bro.
you say. You know what I mean? I take what you say and on YouTube, off YouTube. For me personally, I try to tread lightly with how I talk. You know what I mean? Be mindful of what I say, because you could have somebody out there that's going to do some dumb shit. And there are crazy people out here, and that's just the reality of it. So when you have people engage on the internet with a certain inflated personality, and now they're inside of a room with each other, and they're both these alpha personalities on the internet in some way, but now you're in a room with each other, it's like, yo, there's a level of respect. And they both was trying to calm it down. It was just, I think there should have been somebody else maybe mediating the conversation, because it would have been better for the Black community to have them two work together. And I don't fuck with either of them. You know what I'm saying? But the reality for the Black community.
Kind of brings up one of my points.
No F-bombs over here, Q Butter, but
oh, my bad.
You bring up one of my points though, because
wait, hold on, let him finish. Hold on, real quick.
Thing.
Nah, the Emperor, let him finish real quick, and then you got it. Go ahead, Q.
Yeah, because for me, at the end of the day, it's two Black men. Like, you know, there's a huge narrative that we're involved in now, an independent narrative. You know what I mean? So Corey, when he told him that, you know, you work for them people, and he told him I don't work for nobody, there's a whole new hip hop conservative street, this whole independent, it's a completely different element than what people have in before. But the reality of networking and the capacity to, you know, do something in the future, to me, that's more important than anything else. You know what I mean? That's why to me it was just corny. Like, neither of them were street niggas. Y'all supposed to be rich dudes off the internet. Like, shut up and focus on the content.
No doubt. AM, and you got it in his cell, and then MRM. I know y'all, and then my man, the Ghetto Stoic. I know you want to get in there too. And the Emperor. I'm sorry. However the order I said at first, y'all got it. I apologize. It's a lot.
So
I got it.
So here's the thing. I want to address this whole hat thing, right? Number one, as Black people, you cannot proclaim that you are not a monolith, but then turn around and operate and move like a monolith. You got Black people mad about a red hat. The only reason you can be mad about that red hat is you have to first believe that the man that created that hat is racist and his entire agenda is racist. But there's only one problem that you're leaving out. You're not realizing that there's a war going on amongst white folks. You have Democrat Party that has a particular agenda. They have a club. Donald Trump was not part of that club. So because he wasn't part of that club, he wasn't initiated into whatever crap they got going on. So he's persona non grata to them, which is the main reason why you saw for the first time a president being prosecuted, a president having to be forced to take a mugshot, all of that stuff, right? So the thing is, the Democrats are going hard at him and all of the people that support him because he's not down with their agenda, which what it's starting to look like is the theft of taxpayers' money, right? You're only part of it because you're being used as cannon fodder. You're only part of it because whenever white liberals want to go to war with conservative whites, they need to put Black faces out front so that when you parrot their message, they can get away with the goofy shit, because if somebody on the right that's white say anything, they can scream racism. When Donald Trump said make America great again, he wasn't talking about Jim Crow. He wasn't talking about putting niggas in slavery anymore. He wasn't talking about any of that foolishness. He was talking about America being great again as far as industry, as far as us leading the world in education, as far as us leading the world in manufacturing, as far as us leading the world in all of those different things. But the problem is the Democrats parade out here, they push their narrative, and they take everything about Donald Trump and twist it up into, oh, he's a racist. Since when? When did that happen? Was he racist when he was on Method Man album? Was he racist when he was on Home Alone? Was he racist when he was on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? Was he racist when everybody had love for him, from Oprah Winfrey to Whoopi Goldberg to every person you know, Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali, all of them? He wasn't. It's a narrative, and it's a narrative that's being pushed because the Democrats have an agenda that really is more along the lines of race of slavery.
Didn't Oprah say he should be president?
And we're seeing it play out. So number one, my thing is this: you ain't got to take my word for it, like LeVar Burton used to say. And I know most of y'all old enough to remember reading Rainbow.
But you ain't got to take my word for it.
All you gotta do is go do your research. All I'm saying to y'all is this, because I don't want to be antagonistic, because I want y'all to hear what I'm saying. All I'm saying is this: there is a deeper game that's going on that doesn't really include you. You're just pulled into it to be useful. Okay. So my thing is this: do your research before you just automatically be like, oh, this is racist and this is this and this is that. Do your research. We can't afford to be politically ignorant in this day and age.
No doubt.
Amen.
Yo, hold on real quick. Sell with the MRM was Sell next and then you, or you and then
No, it
Sell?
was MRM then Sell.
No, Sell, you go and then MRM. He was giving you the floor. You got to Sell.
They love and depend on to be black men for black men to be independently stupid and ignorant when it comes to the scope of how politics move. I was hearing Wall Street Willie talk about how things was moving as far as black men or black people and the Republican Party, or rather this administration. My thing is, did you not pay attention to what the last administration was doing? How they literally put out a whole entire ad demifying and pretty much infantilizing men's sexuality by saying that if you didn't vote for a black woman in the office, that you would not get no sex from women. And they had this message come from a gay man. Are we really serious right now? You say that you don't have no black representation within this administration. The last administration's representation was a rainbow flag. It was the coalition of gay frogs and the gay brigade. So when you talk about black representation, how black people should fall in line with a political party, let me ask you this question. Is it fair to say that saying that you kiss the behinds of white man, that's not disrespectful? I guess it's okay to say that black men should fall in line to support a party that puts gay rights above black rights. Are we really having this discussion right now? Because it sounds to me like we not. Because what a lot of people is doing is paying too much attention to this ghetto mentality and this low level IQ. They're not looking at how things really move. If you want to talk about how Corey was bringing things from a hood or a ghetto or a jail culture, then the moment that Anton said that he's a pipe polisher, then Corey should have jumped up and punched him dead in the mouth, but he didn't. Not only did he not get up and punch him dead in the mouth, that lets me know that what you represent and what you portray, I can't believe in. But even now, when it comes to black men speaking on politics, that lets me know y'all really not paying attention.
No doubt. Let me let my man go ahead. Wall Street, you could respond. And I know I told you next MRM, but he called Wall Street's name. So I gotta let Wall Street be able to respond. And then MRM, you got it. And then we'll open it up. Go ahead, Wall Street.
Yeah, so here's the thing. It's not about a hat, right? The one thing I know in my political discernment, right, is that I have no place in that other party. If you talk about being used for cannon fodder, no one will be used for cannon fodder more than a black conservative. I just watched it. Same week, the day before Anton Daniels, I had Tucker Carlson laughing at FBA, right? Calling his phone to talk about another black man. The one thing I know over there, I have no place, right? The Democratic Party isn't perfect, and I consider myself an independent, right? But I know I have no place over there. I know nothing about their agenda is anything beneficial to my children. So it's more than just a hat. That hat represents a movement that no matter how hard Tim Scott tries to coon, the best coon on earth, Lifetime Coon Achievement Award, you still don't get no spot in that administration. While a black man may be surrounded by a bunch of do-funnies, right? He still has a spot in that Democratic argument. Even if you're looking at the independent Democrats, right, like Mondani, first thing he went and did was grabbed up my man, my son. Now, again, I don't.
I gotta let you land your plane with on Wall Street Willie, because I was just letting you
My
respond to
bad.
that,
That was
because
my wife.
it's really
I don't want
it's
to.
really MRM's turn, and then Angry Man, you have the MRM.
I don't want to trigger my big brother Taz, right, and bring an entertainer into it. But what I'm saying is, even in this independent democratic space, there is a space for black men. You know what white folk
What?
need to tell
This is
y'all, right?
crazy.
I don't
Wait,
know what
I
white
got
folk.
y'all, but hold on
I
real
don't
quick.
know
Hold on.
what white folk need to tell y'all outside of you can wear this hat as much as you want. We will hire Linda McMahon before you.
Okay,
WWE.
we got
Are
you.
you
We got you.
serious?
We got. Hold on, y'all. I know he triggered y'all. Let me let MRM go. Angry Man, you after MRM, and then y'all y'all duke it out. Y'all know I don't get into Uncle Jeff. You come. I see your hand. Hold on, Uncle Jeff. Hold on real quick. You're after Angry Man. All right.
Thank
So it's
you.
MRM, then Angry Man, then you, Uncle Jeff. Okay.
All right.
So the guy that just went made an interesting statement there. He said he don't know their agenda. Well, did you actually try to look and research and see what the agenda was? So I'm not. That's a rhetorical question, by the way, because me personally, I see what you're saying. Even though I was trolling y'all when I put the hat on, is because some big people signed it, and I actually got invited to go to the White House in 2020, and I met Donald Trump, spoke with him, and seen what he was trying to do and what he wanted to push out to the black community. But can you show me, and this is rhetorical, where the Democrats solely focused on doing things for black people? Now, there's things that Trump has done and is doing, but they're not going to publicize because we know who owns legacy media, right? With that, if you saying you don't know what their agenda is, rhetorical questions coming, by the way. Do you want men and your children that may be female? Do you want them in your girls' bathrooms? Do you want them on your girls' team? Do you want, since we all talk about black people and they giving us is reason why we so messed up, because look, even though we on food stamps, and this is not all black people, because white people are on it too, more than what we are. But the other thing that comes up, look at the food they giving us, look at the stores they giving us. Well, there is an administration right now that completely flipped the pyramid around. There is an administration right now that's telling you you don't have to give your kids these vaccinations. They still can go to school without having to get these vaccinations if you don't want that. What administration gave you that choice, right? On top of that, do you want your job telling you that if you got somebody that has a snow cone color hair, social justice warrior, twinkle-toed loony, to tell you you need to call them, they, this, that? What administration told you that you better do that, you're going to get fired? What administration told you that if you don't take the Fauci out your hokey pokey clot shot, you won't be able to work? I land.
Angry Man, you got the floor.
So to listen to black men talk about there's no place for them in the Republican Party, but there's a place for them in the Democrat Party, proves to me that what Lyndon B. Johnson said, a Democrat, was 100% right when he said, I had these niggas voting Democrat
200
for the
years.
next 200 years.
I'm with you.
Y'all are wilding right now. Every bit of progress that black people have had since slavery in legislation was pushed by Republicans. All of it. Every last bit of it, and every last bit of it was fought tooth and nail by the Democrats every step of the way.
The Civil Rights Bill, the Voter Registration Act.
Every step of the way. You literally had Dred Scott suing for his freedom on the Taney court. 5 Republicans went against it. 2 Democrats was in favor of him getting his freedom. We can go down the list. I can run down the whole list of every single thing the Democrats have done to destroy our people. Every last bit of it. It was a freaking, when they found out the loophole in the Bill of Rights that the states was using not to give black people their freedom, it was a freaking Democrat lawyer that was in Congress that pointed it out, which is the whole reason you even got the 14th Amendment to the Constitution.
Facts.
We can run down this whole list, bro, and we can even bring it up to today, where everybody's saying, oh, well, the hat is part of a movement. Well, guess what? Ice Cube didn't have that hat on, and niggas told him to kick rocks. What happened to that? When he showed up with the plan for Black America? What happened to when Joe Biden basically told Ice Cube, I won't have a conversation with you until after I win the election. But
White
Donald
folks told
Trump
him
was
to keep
willing to,
rocks.
Donald
Yeah.
Trump was willing to have the conversation before the election. $500 billion he was going to put into the black community.
You didn't have to bring Cube in it, angry man.
No, I brought Cube in it because I need to point out the fact. I need to point out the fact that if you can talk, y'all can talk trash about Trump all day long. But then when it comes to people that are in the black community, people that are trying to do for the black community, and then they get shitted on no differently than Trump gets shitted on, I got to question the motives.
And that was a valid point.
Then we got at the same time, to say that there's a place for black men in the Democrat Party. The fact that I don't hear enough black people complaining about the fact that Joe Biden fought tooth and nail to make sure that a black man wouldn't become a Supreme Court justice. Clarence Thomas. I got to talk about the fact that Joe Biden said during the whole thing about integration, I don't want my kids going to school in a racial jungle.
Come on.
The fact that he gave a damn eulogy of a grand wizard of the Ku Klux Klan and said he taught him everything he knew.
Right.
This is Joe Biden. This is the dude y'all just voted for. He's the one that stood there on the floor of Congress and said, I don't care if this society failed these people. They are beyond the pale and they need to be taken off the streets so that they not hitting my mother over the head.
Choose my mother and grandmother first.
That BS. And then he freaking drafted the 94 crime bill, which Bill Clinton signed into law that contributed to mass incarceration of black people in inner cities. We know this. We lived through it. And then on top of that, you brought up Tim Scott and called him a coon. But I find it interesting. Tim Scott is the one that brought the freaking First Step Act to Donald Trump, which he signed, that caused the release of thousands of nonviolent offenders, 90% of which were black.
No doubt. Let me
Bro, like, yo, real talk, man. Look, y'all can believe what you want, but we got to start calling a spade, bro. If there's no place for black men in the Republican Party because of Donald Trump or anything that y'all felt like he done, there damn sure ain't no place for black men in the Democrat Party.
All right, yo, go ahead, Uncle Jeff. You got the floor. You might gotta come off mute. You got the floor, Uncle Jeff. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm gonna try to pretend. Let's go ahead and pretend that we all haven't said that shadow governments really run the earth. I'm gonna go ahead and pretend with you that this isn't the WWE basically that we're discussing. Let's take a good hard look at who the Democrats really are. Okay, let's just imagine you get in a badass car accident. You're in a bad accident, a car hits you in the middle of the street. The Republicans are on one side, Democrats on the other. The Republicans will tell you when the traffic is coming. They ain't coming out to get you, but they're going to tell you when the traffic is coming. They're going to tell you what speed you should cross the street with your mangled, bloody body. Now, when you get to their side, they got medical attention. They got everything you need. The Democrats, however, will run out in the street and grab you, pull you up on the porch, and go, oh my God, you're bleeding. I'll be right back. And they'll run in the house and bring you out a yo-yo. That's who the Democrats are.
Start doing tricks. Start doing cool tricks with this yo-yo.
Pretty please. With the and number two, Willie, you do not get to agree with Angry Man on any subject about the Democrats. You just defend it.
But no, you forgot that how they're gonna be doing tricks with the yo-yo and say you really need a phone to call.
You really need a phone. Now, come on, bro. Now, neither of them give a shit about you. Neither of them. I give neither of them any credit.
Maybe the neighbors should help us.
Come on, man. At the
in the street.
All right, Deborah. All right.
This is what made.
Hold on. Time out. Let him land his plane, and then once you got back. Hold on, yeah, Jeff. Hold on, I got you.
Shit.
I got you, Jeff. I got you, bro. let me handle this panel, please. Let Jeff land his plane, and then Wall Street got after that. And Q Butter, I know you were saying some stuff in the chat. You can respond, and then we'll open it up for everybody. All right, go ahead, Uncle Jeff. You got it.
Okay. I think we have arranged the deck chairs on the Titanic for long enough, because everybody here is trying to act like this republic ain't crumbling in your face. But so let's pretend that's not happening. I'm gonna put every man here on the spot. I have on my phone, the number 2 and number 3 members of the Nation of Islam that will call me right back. Put your city up here if you want some change. Put your city up here, and I guarantee, men on this panel, if you want change, someone will notify you in your city in 72 hours with a plan. That's what I'm talking about. Now, all you niggas is on the spot.
All right. So,
Okay, go ahead, Wall Street. You got it.
All right, so to the political conversation, right? And again, to bring it back to the Antoine Daniels conversation, right?
The man's
What
name is
was
Anton. The man's name is Anton, Wall
whatever?
Street.
He stole the word out of my head.
All right,
He stole it
Jesus
out of my
Christ.
head.
Hey, yo,
Anton,
I ain't
brother.
even, yo, you know what's crazy? Homie was on my timeline, and I ain't even really know him until I watched this interview, and I'm like, oh, that's homie that don't Beijing his whole joint. I know homie, you know what I mean? But I didn't really know him by name and face before that. But here's the point, right? So we're talking about politics, and again, we're talking about this conversation between 2 black men. Here's the problem. I could criticize the Democratic Party way better than any of you who have all brought up valid issues. What I'm telling y'all is, where's the criticism, right, of this Republican Party that has made it clear you don't have a place, right?
You doing the
Even if
same
you
thing
look,
Corey did.
Wait, hold on, Sel. Come on, man. Go ahead, Wall Street. Come on, let's be
yes, the
respectful of each
brother's
other.
right. I'm doing the exact same thing Corey did because it was a valid question. The question is, right? If you can question blacks' viability or chance to be involved and have some in Democratic Party, I would love to have a conversation with you about the issues with blacks and being a part of the Republican Party. Even Michael Steele, Google it. I know most of you don't know who he is. He ran the Republican National Convention. Even he, a light-skinned black man with glasses, right, said, yeah, I'm switching parties. These white boys is crazy, right? He's in way more than anybody involved in this conversation. I trust his narrative as being the head of the RNC, right? Google it. Stop me when I'm lying. He even had to admit, right? There's no place for me here. Again, my argument has always been Democratic Party ain't perfect. And I don't necessarily even really support it. There are some things that they afford that I am staunchly against. But I have a clear understanding that when I'm in a certain neighborhood and I drive down that block and I see nothing but Trump Pence signs all the way down the block, this is not my community. They are not looking at me as a brother. I would never say to you, regardless of what I believe in, my Sky Daddy, right, that I am more Christian than black. Being black for me will always come first. So to go back to the original conversation, if we're having this conversation between 2 black men, one taking this stance, one taking that stance, and again, I would have preferred to see someone like Mark Lamont Hill cook, and I'm gonna land right here. I would have preferred to see someone way more intellectual cook Antoine than Aton, whatever, than Corey Holcomb, right? But let's be real. These were 2 men that were diametrically opposed. They understood that. So certain questions did deserve to be asked. And that was a valid question,
Okay,
right?
hold on real quick.
What issue do you have with white folks and Republicans? And
Okay,
I'll land right there.
we got you.
So-
I'll be streaming. Hold on real quick, because I gotta give it to Q Butter. But give me 1 second. And Angry Man was trying to chime in. Give me 1 quick second, and Sel was trying to chime in. Let me respect the money real quick. because I put them people on hold for a long time to let y'all be able to say what y'all was saying. Shout out to my man Uncle Streaming. Thank you for the $5, bro. I appreciate you. Said that go outside was to save face. Was Corey supposed to shut down his show to go outside and fight at his facility? He don't stream out the house like us. Shout out to you. Appreciate you, bro. Shout out to hold on real quick, AM. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 quick second. I got you. You could address. Give me 1 quick second. Shout out to Mr. Lone Star, 1999. Said, how do we forget about the code? Was that y'all code?
The culture in the home. We keep saying education,
Okay,
which is a vital part. But if the culture of the home is trash, the education may get pushed to the back burner as far as influences.
Appreciate that. Hey, shout out to my man, Mr. Lone Star. You got it, AM. You want to address that for Uncle Streaming on this?
Yeah. So, like, here's the thing, man. Y'all got to stop doing this. This is some high school shit. You got one dude you don't really like. You got the other dude that you do like. So because it's the dude you like, you keep making these excuses. So what if he was on his show? If he really gangster and really felt offended, he was supposed to punch him in the face. That's real.
How about that?
That was easy. And that's coming from somebody that is a street dude. A street dude that's really about that action. If you offend him, he's gonna punch you in your face. He don't care where he at.
Yeah,
that was easy.
I think we all agree on that. I think all the dudes pretty much up here agree on that. Q Butter said that. I said that. I agree. Q Butter, what say you? Q Butter, what say you?
Nigga said bad part for Q.
Nah, y'all know my brother right there. I think the conservative conversation and the Republican conversation should be separated. Like, I think describing someone as a conservative and then aligning that with their political association, because I consider myself, I don't vote, I don't fuck with, my bad, yo. I don't.
Somebody send me $5 for Q Butter. Go ahead, Q.
I got you. My bad.
No doubt. It's a $5 dollar with that, Baba. Go ahead.
My bad. I got to get used to. I'm like, I be the fat blocks of YouTube. My bad.
I got you, Q. Don't curse again. I'll send it.
Yeah, go ahead, send it, Wall Street. Go ahead, send it, B. Nah, go ahead.
Nah, that's my bad. But yeah, so like, because how like the connection between like even just like I ain't go like the beginning of what Angry Man was saying. I wouldn't argue for either side, but I could not agree that either side hasn't done things that somebody can itemize that Black people benefited from. However, explicitly for Black people, neither party are explicitly for Black people. So I think we should just remove that conversation out and have an American conversation that, you know, which everybody benefits from the policies and stuff. That's the conversation. Yes. But invoking Black empowerment, Black philosophical thought is very confusing for me, and I think other people, because it's like I don't know how y'all get that out of either side. I don't know how you can be a Democrat scream at. There's more Black people involved in the Democratic Party, so if you're just going up for who gets more money if the party gets in, I'll take the fact that there's more Black people that'll get jobs and money and contracts with Democrats in office just because there's more of them already in office. So for me, I'm with the money. Let more Black people get in. But that has zero to do politically. I don't get zero political place in that space. But Angry Man did say at the end, why would a person who's a Democrat be screaming at a Republican as if you can? Neither of them got anything to stand on. So that to me is what from the side of like I agree with that part. There's nothing really to stand on. But the conversation with them two online, it just was weird. Like when the brother earlier was saying that the guy said Corey should have been a little bit more organized in the information. He should have been more organized in this information because he had multiple times that he could have just dagged him, like completely just washed him with facts, pull this up on the screen, and he would have looked crazy. You know what I mean? There's no reason. It's 2026, unnecessary street stuff is corny. You know what I'm saying? We in the Ville. I'm in Brownsville right now in blocks that nobody would come to with a history.
Shout from the Ville.
Unnecessary street stuff. We got to start putting that it don't matter where you at. Anybody that's unnecessary invoke street stuff is just wild corny.
Hey, shout out to MacDougal Street, man. Shout out to MacDougal Street, man. Ocean Hill, man. Ocean Hill.
Ocean Hill, y'all.
So big up Brooklyn. So look, here's the thing, right? Because we got to clear this up. right? When it comes to black conservatives, I can't speak for everybody, but I can speak for myself. When it comes to black people, yeah, when the Democrats get in office, yeah, there's gonna be more black. They're gonna give black people jobs and stuff. Really, they're gonna give black people crumbs. It depends on what level you're at financially, right? When the Republicans get in office, I do better financially because I'm an entrepreneur.
Come on.
I get better tax cuts and stuff, right? So here's my thing with me. With me, it's not about me being a conservative or a Republican because I want to be part of, the white establishment. That's not what it is. It's practicality, right? So I'm a conservative because of my beliefs. You feel me? I believe in smaller government. I believe in the right to bear arms. I believe in God. I believe in family. I believe in traditional values. That's conservative, right? But also, when it comes to the whole Republican thing, the reason why I rock with the Republicans is because this is what I want them to do. I want them to run the country properly and leave me alone. As an individual, as a private individual that lives in this country, don't try to control every aspect of what I'm doing. And that's what Democrats like to do. They try to control every aspect of what you're doing, and they give you some stuff to excuse it. It's just like when people get welfare, right? When people get welfare, they want to know how much money you're making. They want to know how much money's in your bank account. They want to know who living in your house. They want to know all of that stuff, right? They all up in your business. So to me, it's not really helping because you're trying to control some shit. So when it comes to my belief system, it's like, look, I want y'all, I'm not trying to be in government. Y'all run the country properly. You feel what I'm saying? As long as we ain't got no overwhelm, as long as we don't got no bunch of racist stuff going on like the Jim Crow era and all of that foolishness, run the party, run the freaking country properly so that we all can prosper and leave us alone as private citizens. That's my thing. You feel me? So we can clear that up with me.
No doubt. Let my man, the Ghetto Stoic, hasn't had a chance to say anything. Ghetto Stoic, appreciate you, man. You can read your super chat and man, say what you want to say on that. I appreciate the super chat. And thank you to Wall Street Willie as well for the cash. I appreciate you, bro.
Peace, hey, man. First of all, what's up, brothers? Omni, man, Angry Sigma, Izzy, man, what's up, Emperor? What's up with you, Sel? And forget you, Uncle Jeff, man.
He must have beat you. He must have beat you in chat.
No, honestly, no, I'm not gonna lie to you. Me and him, low key, had an intense shootout just now.
And he beat you. And he beat you. Just go ahead and say he beat you.
Hey, what's the record?
Hold on. Notice how the Ghetto Stoic is not bragging. You tell him what's the record.
I think it's 3-2, something like that.
No. It's 2-1.
Okay, he got old man math. Okay, the Ghetto Stoic is up.
We 2-1 with a draw. He's up.
Oh, he's up. Oh, okay. That's why you said forget him. Okay, I get it. Go ahead. You got the floor though. You got the floor.
Yeah. I just wanted to show y'all some love on that. But no, that was an intense game. I didn't know you
know
how to
play dope, man. Dope.
But no, Wall Street, man, you wild for the Sky Daddy, man. Me and Omni felt the same on that, man. We said and
don't pay me no mind, bro.
Yeah, no, it's all good. But no, man, I'm gonna have to say, man, about the Republican thing, I'm not too deep in depth as far as the policies in regards to both parties to pick a side, but I will tell you this, and this is a fact. The most money I ever made was when we was giving those stimulus, and I flipped those into like 14 grand, just moving through penny stocks. And I was just moving through penny stocks, trading penny stocks on Robinhood. That's before they start halting the exchange on the stocks. That was when GameStop came in with the AMC trade as well from $14. So I'm just letting y'all know how deep in the game I am with the stock market. But that's so for me, I ain't trying to be like a sellout in that regard, but I kind of went with the money went. So ever since Trump was out of office, I was always like, damn, man, when we gonna get a Republican back in? Because that was the last time a brother was able to just sit back and make his money and be left alone. I felt like there wasn't much things to it, but with the Democrats, and then especially with this government shutdown, that put me in a chokehold. And let's be honest, man, y'all know who predominantly held most fault in this entire thing with the shutdown. Don't get me wrong. I get what they mean, what Jeff was saying as far as the puppeteering effect. There's always a bigger name that's behind both projects, but predominantly it benefits the Democratic Party, is what the Angry Sigma is saying, to be that that problem for the Black community.
No doubt. I appreciate that. Go ahead, fam. You got it. Let me let the Emperor get in there. Go ahead, the Emperor. What say you, bro?
All right. I think this is all distraction. I think the main reason why they had to pick like two of the biggest names that most people are watching, especially in the Black community, most likely, they had to choose these two guys right here to make us feel like there is no talking to each other. All right. This is a psyop. I feel like this is much bigger if they keep us separated. Like we're having a discussion about the parties or where do we fit in? Blah, 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 blah. This is what they want us to do. This is how they got us tricked. This is how they
Let me ask you a question, the Emperor. I apologize. Who is they? Who is they, and what's the psyop? Because I mean, I don't know Corey personally. I know Anton. I know of Anton pretty good, and I would be willing to argue or willing to bet good money that it's no they involved in it. These are just two men that met that have different belief systems.
I'm saying it's a they because there's a bigger picture. Because here's the main question: why can't we get along? You know, but that's not the question I want to answer. I just want to give a broad reason why that question is here. Is because this, when I say this, it's going to get wild. Everybody might be like, what? But the United
don't
Nations,
get too wild. Don't get too wild. But you can't get too wild.
The only way, I can only say this one more time, the United Nations. All right, I'm not going to give too many details, but yes, Russia, China, they're involved in those meetings.
Wait,
yeah,
we got you. Yeah, you can't be naming. Yeah, we don't do the names.
It's going that direction. And if we're distracted, the board can get set into the one currency, world one currency, all that stuff. We got to have a huge war. It's going to be crazy.
I'm gonna be hold on real quick. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm pretty sure I'm willing to bet the house, right, that Anton Daniels and Corey Holcomb are not the distraction that whatever's putting together for to set the table for whatever you're speaking about. I get it. We don't need to go in detail, but I'm pretty sure that that's not what happened there. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure that that's two dudes that got together that just have different ideological or philosophical beliefs, and it happens like that. I mean, shoot, like, listen, me and my homie, Angry Man's my homie of almost 30 years. We get into heated arguments, and people think it's staged or it's no. This is really how we talk. We got love for each other, but we tell the truth to each other. If I don't agree with him, I'm not gonna agree with him. If he don't agree with me, he not gonna agree with me, and he gonna say it however he feel it at the time. But that's just how it be. So I don't think it's really that type of deal. But I hear what you.
Can I just respond to it real quick? I'm not trying to say that's what this was all about. I'm saying this right here. It's like, okay, when I saw Anton, right? That's how my mom raised me.
I see your hand, bro.
And my pops, he was Corey type. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And I got that in me. Both of them is in me. Every day I'm looking in the mirror, it's like, which one am I gonna be? Which one am I gonna be? Or like, am I gonna be cool? Or am I like, how am I gonna do this? But I get shamed for being like, yeah, let's go. And like, you know, and then I get hate for being like, yo, let's go with the dirt. Like, you know, so what can I do? Like, what can I do? That's the battle every Black man is having. He's battling his Anton against his Corey, and Corey's usually winning. Because guess what? The female was over there with Corey. Anton ain't got no females. I'm just giving the example. I'm just saying, like, go ahead. I'm just
Angry Man, get in there, Angry Man.
So
I hear you, Uncle Jeff. I got you, Uncle Jeff.
No, I was just saying what he. Oh, don't say shit. Let me shut up.
No, you got. I thought you was scared.
I don't get too much into the conspiracies, and the reason why is because I see what people say about me, and I know ain't none of that going on over here. I got dudes talking about, oh, you on OVO's payroll just because of the position I took in the Kendrick Drake thing. Then I got people talking about some, oh, you getting paid by the white man. Like, bro, if I was getting paid by the white man, I'd be a multi-millionaire. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I would be, bro, if I was that type of sellout, You feel what I'm saying? You know how much bread I would have? Like, so no, like, so
That was easy.
Yeah. So the thing is, when you say, look, what is said is 100% true. That's just two dudes on the internet that had a disagreement. But when you're talking about distractions, trust me, they don't need that for a distraction, because we already got enough distractions. You feel what I'm saying? We've been had distractions, TV, radio, movies, all
Everyday
of
life, bro.
all of that is distractions from things that you're not paying attention to. If you're paying attention, it ain't gonna work. You feel the problem is most people don't pay attention. Most people don't be checking for this and checking for that. The only reason, in my opinion, the only reason nowadays you see more people paying attention to politics is because of the character that Donald Trump is. You feel what I'm saying? It's because of how he move and all of that, and they put a spotlight on him, because usually with other presidents, they don't really put that type of spotlight on them. Yeah. A lot of stuff they do
was hiding Biden.
Yeah, a lot of stuff they do, you don't pay attention to it unless you really into that. You feel what I'm saying? So I don't think it was a distraction in that sense. And as far as us not getting along, we ain't never got along.
Yeah,
we ain't never got along. And the thing you said, this is the other thing we got to realize. And I talked about this a lot, right? We got to get out of this mind frame that black men fit into this box or this box or this box. You feel me? The crazy thing about it is all of us, the analogy you use with the Anton and Corey, all of us are like that. All of us are like that. All of us have our intellectual side. All of us have our hood side. You feel me? For the most part, because that's just our culture. That's just the way we brought up, right? So we all deal with that. You feel what I'm saying? The problem is what you were talking about is in the moments that matter, which side do we let win? The intellectual side or the ghetto side? You feel me?
No doubt. Hey, let me let Uncle Jeff. You guys then sell you after Uncle Jeff, and then we'll open it up. Hey, no doubt.
You know you skipped over me, right?
Oh, did I skip MRM?
Go ahead, let him go. Let him go.
Never got in it one.
Oh, you never. Yo, I apologize.
like 8 times.
Hold on, I apologize. That hey man, I apologize. MRM, please forgive me, my
No,
good
we good.
brother.
I got patience.
You got it.
I got
you got
patience.
it. You got it, MRM. I apologize, bro.
No, what I was gonna say, and this was piggybacking off of what AM just said is what I'm trying to get at is this: what makes a lot of people think that if you are black and conservative, when did it enter your mind for you to insinuate that we doing this because we're trying to fit in? What makes you think that we're trying to fit in with them, or that they will never accept us? Who's saying that we're trying to be accepted? You see what I'm saying? Who came up with that concept? Because all I know is that when I came from the ghetto and I crossed over and I seen Utopia, I knew one thing: I wasn't trying to go back and live that lifestyle no more. And then when I did get over there, you know what the white folks did? They looked at me and say, "Hey, welcome. You might as well go ahead and start working." They didn't sit there and go, "Hey, you know, you ain't fixing to fit in up here. I don't know what you're thinking, boy." Nobody did any of that. I don't know what you thought coming up here is up north. Nobody did any of this. So what I'm saying is, where did that mindset come from to make a lot of black people? Now I'm just saying this because I always be careful when I do this. I learned that when I go and speak now, I say black folks have a certain mindset, right? Black folks have a certain mindset. What made you come up with that? Who taught you to think that? Who taught you to say stuff like that to individuals that you feel are conservative, right? Now, the other thing that I want to add to this is, if you do happen to come what you want to consider conservative, and you ask someone a question, how you're trying to build yourself, and they show you how to build, why is all of a sudden now you kissing a white man's butt? Right now, last thing I'm gonna land there with is this. You know that when Harriet Tubman was trying to free people, she wasn't the only one trying to do that, but you know that she was going back down south trying to bring people back. Did you know that there was people that were refusing to? Why did they refuse? They didn't know what it was like to be free. They couldn't even comprehend the concept of not being in those chains. They couldn't comprehend that. So although you might try to step back and go back and try to bring some of them over there to say, "Hey, y'all, look, over here is good, man." Now, yeah, you're not gonna get nothing free no more. You're going to have to take care of business. You're going to have to work for it. It's not like that. You got some people that ain't what I heard. Oh, you one of them northern Negroes right there. Yeah, you just trying to be like them northern. You just trying to be like them white folks up north. You think that's what we get. Even though there's no physical change or anything like that, the mentality of it is still there. And once they can grip you here, you know, you gone. Unless you want to get free and come up north, metaphorically speaking, you're gonna always be on the mental plantation.
No doubt. Shout out to that. Yo, let me read this real quick. Sharon, I'm Israel Mills on chess.com. Israel Mills, appreciate you. Sharon, shout out to you. Paul Smith said, Father said, I'd rather stand with the conservative men like Booker T. Washington, Frederick Douglass, Clarence Thomas, Joseph H. Jackson, and Thomas Sowell. Yo, shout out to you. Appreciate you, Paul Smith. Go ahead, Uncle Jeff. You got the floor, and then Sel, and then we'll go open it up from there.
Well, I'm glad to know that again, 20 minutes. One man has sent me his city. I'm glad to know we just talking.
Well,
we just
my
talking.
city is like
we're chit chatting.
So I would say Arizona because it's a big small town.
Okay, but I don't have the city, so you've pre-disqualified yourself. Well, and I don't mind. I just need you to understand. Ask is on your own time who it is I know. And
you broke up. Shout out to Dollar Washington said conflict is masculine. Shout out to L Kabong said y'all is Mecca. Oh, excuse me. Jail is Mecca in the community. Wow, that looked like a Y. Shout out to Beige Lives Matters. Scope said Corey ain't get time to watch all of Anton content. So he asked, and even as a black conservative myself, we do kowtow to the white GOP.
The white GOP.
Yeah, that's what I said. White GOP. We don't challenge them on anything. Shout out to that. Deacon Dave said, I see what you did is LOL. Shout out to Deacon Dave. Chocolate Earth. Shout out to you, sister. What's up, Freedom 533? What's up, sister? She said, shaking my damn head. Shout out to Fierce Soul. What's up, Fierce Soul 85? Why Marvelous? What's going on? This is one of the best shows. Great build with an all-star panel. Shout out to that. Appreciate you. What's up, Hurricane Peril? What's up, man? A real man would have chin checked AD for saying that sucking the thing a long time ago. Yeah.
Pipe polishing.
What's up, Waha? Waha set it off, Sal. What's up, Keon in the building? What up? What's up, Deucey McGovern? What's going on? HT Bull 1, what's going on? Cute joke, BS, but a cute joke. What healthcare plan have the Republicans come up with in the last 10 years?
Trump just put out a video from the White House where they even explain their healthcare plan. Maybe you shouldn't pay. Maybe you should go pay attention to it.
Ooh, answer.
And the Night and Bishop said, "Don't interrupt. Hurts the quality of our show." No doubt. Shout out to Night and Bishop. Okay, go ahead, Jeff. You back?
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay, go ahead.
Like I said, you know who I know. As long as we're honest, that we just talking. Unless, of course, you guys really think we're going to vote our way out of this. Unless, of course, this is 1988 and maybe, just maybe, the 48 contiguous states haven't been redrawn. Google that. Maybe, just maybe, there is going to be another election. Maybe we're not dealing with a dictator. Maybe, I think I need to deal with my own thread because perhaps you gentlemen are seeing some type of internet that I'm not. This shit that you are discussing is crumbling in your hands, and there are black men who are actively helping the community that y'all don't want to talk about. Again, this reminds me of niggas that only talk about horrible black women, but do no research to find the good ones. So as long as I know we're just talking, again, we almost, 22 minutes, one city and a half a state. Let's keep going.
Quick. Respectfully, you got men here that are actively working with youth in the community and working with youth. Like, so you got Modern Renaissance Man for fact. You got Q Butter up here. You know what I'm saying? You got other men up here that don't really talk about the things that they do, that they're working with youth and they're working with men in the community. So there are brothers that are doing their thing up here, you know, respectfully. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
so
I'm not discussing their thing. Maybe, just maybe, these guys that I know, maybe they can help you.
That's possible. Well, Q Brother told you he's in Brownsville, Brooklyn, New York. And then
all right.
Yes. Then my man Modern Renaissance man, he'll let you know what I'm saying, what he got going on.
Yeah, just put them in the back, and I'll put here. I'll say this. I'll land. If you put your city in the back, there will a week. I only need one. I can't get that. A week will not pass before somebody strong in that area that is a black man will contact you to help you with what you're doing. Those are that sound like a solution. The rest of this, I guess we just talked.
Nah, MRM put his in the back, so check
Gotcha.
the chat.
I see it. Okay.
Amir Abbey said already in contact with Farrakhan here in South Phoenix, as the Moors in NOI work class close together here in Phoenix, Arizona. Shout out to that, Amir Abbey. Salute to that Islam, brother. Islam.
Good. You only wanted one though, right? Uncle Jeff only wanted one.
Yeah. I wanted to start. You can give me 5, but the only reason I put it out there is because I know these dudes gonna reach out to help y'all, and brother man who was not on the panel that spoke about Phoenix, I'm gonna need you to also speak about how those brothers help you, because all I ever hear, all of this sounds like shit we need from outside of us, and the shit outside is crumbling, and no black people want to talk about that, and I don't get it.
Hold on. Can I say something, Izzy?
Yeah, you got it, brother. Yeah, he's talking about the NOI.
I know, but real quick, based on the NOI, because it's my responsibility to speak on the NOI if I hear somebody say something in regards to that question. You just said you never hear nobody say anything in regards to what they've done personally, right?
No, that's not what I said.
Okay, can you clarify, please?
I said that up here on this panel today, I posed a question because what we are doing right now is discussing the politics of a failed state. America is dead already, like Apollo Creed and Rocky IV. They just falling slow. And I know some people that's really grassroots, straight up doing stuff that this whole every time we want to talk to black people, they don't want to work together. I know many black people. They're young, but they are thriving right now. And every time we talk about this subject, we ignore them. And I think it's unfair. I think it's we're going around an oval dirt track. And if we want to be honest about the dirt track, then I'll go around the dirt track. But that's what we're doing here.
No. Okay, so I'm gonna have to second to him, and he's right. The NOI and the brothers in the NOI are owed major recognition for their contribution. And I've been personally mentored by a brother who not only is verified in his work, but he also has a YouTube channel where he shows you how to flip things. So I'm just saying, I'm not saying that everybody's perfect.
So anybody from Islam want to answer about Aisha? I don't believe nothing they say.
Who's wait, what you mean, Aisha?
Yeah.
Hold on, real quick. What you mean by Aisha? I'm very confused.
The story about Aisha in the Quran. I don't want to hear nothing they got to say.
Oh, okay. That's something different. Okay, Amir Abbey said, "I always, that's different from the Nation of Islam, right?" But
I know, but still,
okay.
Even when I talk to them, it's just like, nope, I don't want to hear it.
I got you. Amir Abbey said, hold on real quick, family. Amir Abbey said, I always tell our people I have 500 acres. Shout out to my brother, Amir Abbey. I'm coming to get, can I get I just need 5 acres, brother. I'm going to come and stay with you, brother. I need 5 acres. Shout out to Amir Abbey. Put my name on 5 acres, brother. Seriously. He said, I always tell our people I have 500 acres of land in Arizona and open for anyone who wants to build a community on my land. Brother, put my name on 5. And y'all make sure y'all holler at my brother Amir Abbey.
So if I could real quick, that's another fallacy about what black people ain't smart enough to move on their own land. Right now, there are 60 black families buying land in one of the Carolinas that I will not tell you which one it is, but they done got bought up a gang of land, and before the end of the year, they're going to make a grand announcement about who's going to move where. We got all this. We keep focusing on the wrong niggas. We got all. I'll say this and I'll land. Just like in Apollo 13, I can get a monkey to tell me how it don't work. This is a room full of the smartest men on the earth. Don't give me more and more word about how it don't work. How does it?
Got you, but you realize that though we got you. We you know what I'm saying. But this is how you get to that. You know what I'm saying? By Amir Abe saying what he said, by Q Butter saying what he said, by you saying what you say, by MRM saying what he said, by Say Light saying what he said, by Angry Man saying what he said, by me saying what I say. This is how we get to that. You know what I'm saying? This is how we get to that, bro. So we gotta have the discussions in the open in order to get the work that's done not so in the open. You feel me?
Don't listen to me. I hate everybody equally on an individual basis.
Well, first we gotta know the problem we want to fix.
But
So
what
we
I
don't
wanted
know
to
the
say
problem we
was,
want to fix, then we can't
That's why
even
you my
think of a
man,
solution.
Will.
Hold on real quick. Let's finish real quick.
What I wanted to say was, I think everybody needs to go read a famous quote from the Republic, where it talks about how it is that honorable men who refuse to participate or even pay attention to politics would be ruled by fools. When you look at Socrates, yeah, but that's from Plato.
Okay,
but yeah, Republic is from Socrates, but Plato's the quote. But the thing is, like, I was listening, and I had to hold on to this whole entire time. But I was listening to how it is that the question that's so important is about, you know, kissing the behind of white men. Well, I would say when you look at the scope of how it is, how things is moving right now, you have the black community kissing the behind of the white of the white man, because they out there protesting in the streets about a white woman that got who rammed the ICE officer and she got herself shot. But no one's out there protesting about the brother that got shot by the federal agent that was off duty.
That's
it's like
crazy. That's true.
Everybody just everybody just sidestep the brother that got shot by the federal officer, but y'all out here cheering about the white woman. So I don't want to hear how valid of a question it is to question a black man about his blackness and his validity to that black card when y'all jump out in front. Y'all completely abandon the whole Black Lives Matter movement and y'all join the Rainbow Coalition. I don't want to hear that. Nothing that what people are saying that this standard that people are saying that they're trying to hold black conservatives to or hold black Republicans to. I don't want to hear about it, because y'all gave up y'all whole entire backside just so y'all could be welcome into a community that only wanted to take advantage of your children. So I don't want to hear that. Y'all completely gave up everything so y'all could be accepted by a party that literally wanted to keep you in chains and keep you enslaved. I don't want to hear that. They literally fought a whole entire civil war about keeping black people up under the thumb of oppression. The same oppression that y'all swear up and down is happening here in 2026. I don't want to hear about it. How they drafted the whole entire 94 crime bill and they brought it specifically against black people on a very detrimental level per capita. So I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to hear about why is black men in the Republican Party, why is black men in the Democratic Party. I bet you couldn't tell me why, other than the fact of getting a free means and benefits. That just lets me know that you're not willing to put in the work to get for yourself. You would rather let someone else just hand it to you. So I don't want to hear that. None of that makes no sense to me. You can't talk about, oh, you out here kissing the white man's behind. Y'all literally let a whole entire mainstream media broadcast and the political party tell y'all that y'all will lose access to sex within your marriage if you don't vote for a black woman. I don't want to hear it.
Wait,
None
but
of that
hold on.
means nothing.
Hold on real quick. So now he's talking about no voting, no bucking, I guess from old buddy, but like most of people over here were not going for nothing like that at all. Number one, hold on real quick. I don't think most of the people over here voted for Kamala Harris at all. I don't think most of the people even identified her as a black woman, because she wasn't. But that's neither here nor there, right? The basic point is we can't take a situation about one person talking to another person on an individual basis and then use it as a broad brush to paint over everybody, right? Because just because people don't necessarily align with a political ideology, one political ideology or another, does not necessarily mean that they align with those viewpoints or those standpoints that are against another view. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's really one of those things. Hold on, someone got some background. I need you to mute real quick. Right, exactly. Exactly, Taz. She didn't represent nothing I stood for either.
Woo!
But that doesn't necessarily mean I'm a Republican either, right? Like I think
Right.
Q Butter made an excellent point about conservatism is not necessarily just exclusive, and Republicans don't have a monopoly on conservatism, right? And it doesn't mean that you have to be a Democrat, right? Just because you say that you're conservative doesn't mean that you have to align and be a Democrat or a Republican, but you can still be conservative in your viewpoints, in your ideology, and how you perform in life. You know what I'm saying? So what are your thoughts on that, Sal?
So I get you, right? But the thing is that when it comes down to it, people only address what it is that they feel hurt by. And the scope of how things is looking is people is only addressing this administration because they feel that they are being hurt by this orange man in the office. Well, y'all didn't feel that way when the previous white man was in the office, when this man told you that if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. When this same white man set up and pretty much questioned everything about your whole entire race and your culture and called y'all super predators and literally partook in the 94 crime bill. So my thing is, when it comes down to it, I think people have a false identity when it comes to what they want to be a part of, and they only follow along because that's what they trained to do. They only train to be comfortable. They don't want to be uncomfortable because freedom is a mystery to them, and they don't know what it means to be free. They don't even want to find out what it means to be free because it's a pain that comes with it. It's comfortable being in the house and just doing nothing but just taking, but you ain't giving nothing back. And protesting is not a form of giving. Complaining about a man in the presidential office just because he's white is not giving. Saying that black men who don't want to vote for Kamala is not part of the community is not giving. That's not doing anything. Questioning a person's validity about their blackness just because they're not partaking and putting the black community, which is not a monolith, on a pedestal is not special. Because if it was so special, then back in the 40s and back in the 50s and back in the 60s and the 70s, the 80s, all the way leading up to now, then no black person would be participating in the white man's game. But guess what? They do it because it's a profit for it. So I don't want to hear it. It's a lot of fake pushers that come from the hood that want to step into the corporate world and act like they doing something. They not.
No doubt. Hey, thank you to Mon Chaos Brewer. I appreciate you, sis. She said for $20. Thank you, sister. Appreciate you. She said the bill promoted mandatory minimum sentencing and 3 strikes, quote unquote, laws, which led to harsher sentences for repeat offenders, disproportionately affected black individuals, 12 times more likely to be incarcerated. Democrat. Hey, yo, AM, I know you probably get ready for a show. You want to get in there and yeah, give me 1 second, Wall Street. I got you. Right. I think AM getting ready for a show, and then MRM want to say something. Then Wall Street, you got it. AM, what say you, bro? You there?
Can you hear me? You muted.
The only thing I gotta say, can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir. We can hear you now. Go ahead, you got it.
Okay, hold on. So put me on the big screen. There's only one thing I gotta say.
You gotta say something crazy?
Oh shit.
Here you go.
No. Make sure you go get my book.
Absolutely. Hold on. Put it up there. The Angry Man Standard. Make sure the Angry Man Standard. Make sure you get the Angry Man Standard. Make sure you get that.
Angry Man. You look kind of like Morpheus with a beard right there. I like it.
Yeah, make sure you go get merchandise. You feel me?
I didn't get my shirt yet, Angry Man. Where's my shirt at? I didn't get it yet.
It's on the way, brother. It's on. My son just got his shirt today, so
I'm gonna have to hide the book when I buy it. My wife gonna kill me. But
why was she Angry Man stand? Oh man, that's terrible.
Oh man, is that how you living? Is that how you living?
Hold on,
Angry Man know his rap.
Time out. Don't say that out loud over here. Yo, go ahead, MRM. What you want to say?
Well, what I'd like to say is that Izzy Bands, you know you voted for me because it's all in your name. All in your name. The fact that you have money as one of your logos lets me know that you voted for Donald Trump. You voted for me, Izzy Bands. Voted for me.
Hey, where did Mr. President go? Where did
Fake
Mr. President go?
news.
He had to leave.
Oh,
He signed
okay.
the hat real quick and he dipped off.
That's crazy.
But no, I wanted to add to that this whole deal that we got something that happened here in Illinois. I had the opportunity to have the first exclusive interview with a Black Supreme Court justice here named Lisa White Holder, right? Here in Illinois, first Black woman. She did the same exact thing to reverse what Biden voted for. Here in Illinois, which y'all know, Chi-Town, you know we're going to have some of the highest crime rates amongst Blacks. She turned it to where she is taking like any crime that was nonviolent, whether it was weed, coke, whatever like that, and she's trying to go inside and turn those sentences around and saying if there was no violent crime committed, we want to release them. At that interview, man, we hyped it up, whatever like that. We pushed it out to the community, and let's just say if we had 800 tickets that sold, out of that 800, how many you think showed up that were Black? Even though she passed the bill and she's a 40. Supreme Court justice, the first in
40.
Illinois.
40.
No.
More or less?
It was me, my wife, my family. Then there was another Black judge and her husband.
Stop playing.
No kidding.
Out of 800 people?
800 tickets sold.
Damn.
And here she is doing things that's helping. And you know what? She's a coonist. She's a porch negress. She's all those things. When the very thing that she's doing here in Illinois, look her up, is to reverse what they put a lot of us in jail for when it came to nonviolent crimes.
Damn. God dog. But that, I guess that's to Anton's point, which he has a point. And like I said, he is using his platform. He has a point. The point was that, people don't show up. People don't show up when it's time to vote for the local election. Only 20% of us show up to the local election. And that's where the things happen that truly affect our life in the local elections, man.
Hey, watch this. Did you hear what Corey said about voting?
Yeah, that was for suckers, which is crazy.
Exactly. So
now see that right there, him saying that? Y'all was talking, they mentioned earlier about Lamont. Call Lamont a sucker and watch what happened. You see how he crashed out over that? So
exactly.
I'm throwing shots.
But no, if Corey is the representation of what the average Black person is or how they move within the hood, for anybody that has that whole entire notion to say that voting is for suckers, explain how Barack got in office.
I could explain that.
What was the voter turnout? What was the demographic turnout for Barack Obama? How many Black people voted for Barack?
I have absolutely no idea.
Oh, it's crazy.
But I think I can explain how he got into office.
Sure, go ahead.
Every president of the United States, to include the 8 Black ones before George Washington and the 16 overall, share the same bloodline. Note that your vote does not elect a president. It just plain old don't. And if it does, then I think we're going to have to stop having the shadow government conversation. Y'all gonna have to pick.
Which is why there's so much contention about Donald Trump. Donald Trump ain't part of that bloodline.
He's the first one not a part of the bloodline.
The only
him and Hillary Clinton cousins.
Because Barack is cousins with George W.
Yep.
And that has far more to do with any of this. And this pretend, and again, not to defend, like I said, Corey had a lot of points that he had no business making because he wasn't qualified. Here in LA, we saw this, me and my wife, when we were really getting deep into real estate. She took the test and she noticed on the day that she passed how many Asians were there. And it was a sister that was giving the test out. She said, oh yeah, they're not here to pass the test. They're here to memorize it. And each person memorizes 20 questions. They go back, they study the whole test, they pass it in droves, and then they buy real estate together in areas in droves by taking all of their money and putting it in each other's account, let it sit there so it looks like it's your money, then you buy a house, so on and so forth. In that process, Could someone tell me who ran for election and who got voted?
So we're going into this rabbit hole.
No, we're not going. No rabbit holes.
Let's not, because it's not relevant apparently.
No, we're not. Hold on.
Let's not go down it.
No, he said we're going into rabbit hole. I was talking to the emperor because I know where he wants to go with it. So that's why I was talking to him specifically.
My point of saying that is that Corey, in more ways than one, Jeff, you're right. He's making points, but he's part of a conversation that he can't exist in because he's not invested enough.
How about that?
I remember back in 2000, 2003, 2007, where the conversation about voting was very heavy. I remember back when Barack was first running, and I remember turning on the TV. Mind you, I was a teenager at this time. I remember on all my favorite music stations, MTV, BET, and all this, that, and the other, you had all of these black artists who was out there pushing for Barack Obama to get elected. I remember the whole "my president is black, my land boo is boo." I remember how all the news stations was out here talking about that Barack Obama was the next great black hope and all this, that, and the other. So voting has an influence on the people, and it's not for suckers. But that's why I say people who say that they don't vote, what part in the conversation do you have if you wasn't even willing to even cast a vote to even move something in a direction? But you know,
that's a question that's answered by George Carlin. He said people have it backwards. They say
you got next cue, brother.
They say that because I don't vote, this is him, that if you don't vote, you don't have a right to complain. Bullshit. I didn't vote, therefore I'm not responsible for the clowns that are doing this. You are.
Absolutely.
So to say that because people don't want, and you're very right, voting does have an influence on people. It just doesn't have any positive effect on the good potato salad people and their problems, because there's not a bill, there's not an initiative that's going to get your black ass out of this. You're going to have to love your way out of it. And black people are terrified of these three words. We are enough.
Yeah.
Yo,
you know what else came out of George Carlin that was very important? He was talking about the invisible man in the sky and how it is that people to this day still believe in that.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, he's gonna put you somewhere where you choke to death, but he loves you.
See what I'm saying?
Hey, what say you, Q Butter, on this? You were trying to get in that Q?
Yeah, I don't attack people for voting, so I think that's yeah, I think Corey kind of jumped out the window with that one when like calling somebody a sucker for voting. I wouldn't do that. I don't vote. That's my person. You know what I'm saying? And if you vote, that's on you. You know what I mean? I don't think voting encapsulates or embodies the work a person is supposed to be committing towards their civil duties. Is a part of it. However, if your contribution to the black community is only voting, that's between you and your mirror. You know what I'm saying? And I think the conversation about the black community, like I said earlier, needs to be put on one side, and then those who are doing the American thing go on the other side. It is no offense to that. It's just it's convoluted when you really sit here trying to get black power out of the Democrats, and then you're calling somebody a coon and you're a Democrat because they're a Republican. And it's for somebody on the outside, like, bro, if you want to do black power, you do things for the black community, and whoever you can benefit from, and however you can benefit from, whoever it is, you do what you got to do. That might be a Republican, it might be a Democrat, it might be a Jew, might be a Chinese person. Long as I'm benefiting the black community, I have no dog in any of these other fights. And so, but hearing how it gets organized in the conversation, you know, it gets petty. You know, people to throw out coons, throw out names real quick, and it's like, I think just 2026 that's hearing in conversations like, not throw away the black power conversation. Just understand that they're two different conversations.
No doubt.
You want to talk about the black community and empowering it, just focus on that.
That's why you try to push it and say it about locally. That's why, like, if he got cut off, but Anton was really trying to push out saying, take care of that business on a local level in your municipality where you at, you know?
Hey, does anybody know who Douglas Anderson is? I'm not sure. I don't know who that is.
You said, what was the name?
Douglas Anderson.
Never heard of it.
All right.
Claude.
I know. Your family, I'm sorry, man. I'm not familiar with your family. And this is we about to shut it down anyway. Yeah, it's cameras on, but it's kind of like stuck a little bit. So
no, trust.
Yeah, it's a motorcycle club in here tonight.
As a matter of fact, Izzy, you've been going for 8 hours.
Almost.
You don't want to ruin
it.
Yeah,
8 hours. Yeah. That's true.
You don't want to ruin it.
Yeah. Hey, brother,
come back mess up your whole entire show.
Let's just vote for JP for president.
Yo,
JP.
come on. Why y'all always bring this dude up, man? See, and then it's gonna be me.
Oh,
Why
you talking about the guy who got impeached?
I'll take my charge. I'll take my charge.
Can I say my last word before you close it out?
Yeah, hold on. This is what's wrong with black people right here. See, y'all kicking a man while he's down. The brother is down. Why y'all kicking that brother while he's down?
Nasty work. Oh,
MRM didn't want to have no parts of that.